This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network Limited. We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, RevoNews.ai and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
Coming up in the news at 7 today, Thursday, November 27, 2025. Coming up in the news at 6. Police say bus that crashed near Old Harbour on Wednesday evening, getting 5 and injuring several, was overcrowded and speeding. ODPEM says vector control measures are underway in areas with high water levels following Hurricane Melissa. Education Ministry says more than 800 schools across the island have reopened. In regional news, Vincentians head to the polls in a general election later on this Thursday. In international news, Hong Kong fire death toll rises to 55. In sport, two-day tour match between the Windies and the New Zealand Board 11 ends in a draw. And in business, Tesla to reset strategy amid sluggish India sales. The details are up next.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Head of the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTEB, ACP Dr. Gary McKenzie, says early investigations indicate that the Toyota Hiace minibus involved in Wednesday's fatal crash on the East-West Highway in St. Catherine was speeding. The collision, which occurred near Old Harbour, killed 5 people and left more than 15 injured.
At about 3 p.m., a Toyota Hiace motor truck, which is one of those minibuses plying the route from Mandeville to Spanish Town, was traveling easterly along the P.J. Patterson Highway when on reaching the vicinity of Sharper Lane or Old Harbour. For some reason, the vehicle veered to the left, went off the roadway, overturned. The result of the vehicle crashing, being damaged in the manner that it is, as well as the nature of the injuries, clearly suggests that the vehicle was traveling at a very good speed.
ACP Dr. Gary McKenzie says that the minibus was carrying more passengers than it was licensed to do.
That particular vehicle should actually be a 16-seater. And so the fact that there was 4 or 5 more persons in it indicates that the vehicle would be traveling with excess passenger, which of course is a breach of the law. Manufacturers of vehicles will have what is known as laden and unladen weight, And certainly when vehicles are traveling, what happens when we have loads that are not fixed, meaning that people who are movable, then certainly weight transfer, depending on what happened in the case of a sudden swerve or making a corner, could cause weight transfer that may affect maneuverability.
ACP Dr. Gary McKenzie, head of PSTEP, he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Transport Minister Daryl Vaz says Wednesday's crash on the East-West Highway near Old Harbour in St. Catherine underscores the urgent need for heightened vigilance and responsible behavior on the nation's roads. He notes this is particularly important as we approach the busy Christmas season. Minister Vaz says the crash is a heartbreaking tragedy. He notes that the ministry is committed to supporting the ongoing investigation. He's again urging road users to exercise caution, stressing that split-second mechanical failures or lapses can have life-altering consequences. The ministry is also appealing to citizens to desist from recording, sharing or circulating graphic images or videos of crash victims out of respect for the families of the deceased and to avoid compromising ongoing investigations. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, consults parish disaster committees when deciding where to send hurricane relief. The minister was responding to claims from the opposition that aid distribution is being politically influenced.
In every parish, there's a parish development committee which is chaired by the mayors of each parish. The parish disaster coordinators work closely with the ODPEM, and everything that is done is filtered through the parish development committee. We are all members of parliament. In every parish is a part of those committees. And the ODPEM should not be interacting with the political directorate so anybody can accuse the organization of being political.
On Tuesday, opposition leader Mark Golding accused the government of failing to involve the PNP in any of the committees created to respond to Hurricane Melissa. But speaking at a media briefing at the office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday, Minister McKenzie reminded the country that Golding is represented on the official Disaster Response Committee.
There's a committee that was established in Parliament. The opposition refused to sit on that committee. The Prime Minister outlined the steps that we are taking to have an inclusive Jamaica in the process. We're just getting out of the hurricane. It is going to take some time to put the structures in place. And I would urge the media and other Jamaicans to respect the fact that the government has been working and things will come around.
Desmond McKenzie, Local Government Minister. Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, Commander Alvin Gale, says vector control measures are underway in areas with high water levels following Hurricane Melissa. Commander Gale was speaking at a media briefing at the Office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday.
There's nothing we can physically do about the rising waters. What is occurring now, I can tell you, is that right across all which are flooded, the waters have been gradually receding. So we're watching that as it goes down. But in terms of vector control mechanisms, those are being put in place in those communities.
Areas such as Chigwell in Hanover and Content in Manchester have experienced elevated groundwater levels since the hurricane, leaving homes flooded and roads impassable. Commander Gale says entities such as the Jamaica Fire Brigade and Health Ministry are actively responding in areas still affected by floodwaters.
Our recovery efforts are ongoing right across all sectors. In terms of all communities, there's no special treatment towards those particular communities. The communities which remain flooded, there is some work ongoing from the Jamaica Fire Brigade and the JDF teams to treat with the water situations there and in terms of the other environmental matters pertinent to the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Commander Alvin Gale, Director General of ODPEM. Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon says over 800 schools across the island have reopened following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The minister provided the update at a media briefing at the Office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday.
Today, 845 schools are operational, and that's really a great thing given what has happened in the West. I'm even more happy to tell you that in Region 4, and Region 4 has the schools that have had the most damage in terms of Westmoreland and Hanover and St. James. They're all in Region 4, and I'm so happy to tell you that 24 of the 25 high schools in Region 4 are open for grades 11 to 13.
Dr. Maurice Dixon had previously announced that the ministry would be prioritizing those students in secondary schools who are due to sit external exams. She says this priority is dictating the method being used to reopen some schools.
So those are for our students who are doing CSEC and CAPE, 24 out of 25 in the most affected area. We're expecting that within the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to get all students back in. But it will be on a rotational, a shift basis. So that's the interim solution. But our focus has been on bringing in those students who have external exams. And so that's been the priority.
Senator Dr. Dana Maurice Dixon, the Education Minister. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Chris Tufton says assessments are ongoing into the damage done to health centers by Hurricane Melissa. He was speaking at a media briefing at the office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday.
We have attempted to restore services, if not the infrastructure, of our health centers. 101 health centers have been impacted in the zone of the storm. We have about 325 health centers in total, approximately 101 impacted in various ways. 25 or so badly damaged, either totally damaged or extensively damaged. As of now, the assessment is being done. Similarly so with the hospitals, and bringing those back to a point where the services can be provided, even if in a makeshift facility, whether it's a tier 1 tent type health center or the field hospital.
Several health centers have reopened across the island since Melissa's passage on October 28. Dr. Tufton says the physical and mental well-being of medical workers impacted by the hurricane is being given priority treatment.
We have been attempting to ensure that our health staff, through our assessment, come back to normality in terms of their physical possession and their losses. Of course, giving them some emotional support also. And between those local workers and the teams that have come in, many teams, we have been able to establish the personnel that is required to give the support for the services. And that, in the immediate aftermath of the storm, we believe is going well, in that persons, Jamaicans who need attention, are in fact getting attention.
Dr. Chris Tufton, Health and Wellness Minister. The government is to engage in consultations with stakeholders on the proposed One Road Authority. Works Minister Robert Morgan provided the update at a seminar hosted by the Incorporated Master Builders Association of Jamaica at the Jamaica Conference Center on Tuesday.
It is not a plan by the government to disempower authorities. It is a plan to empower citizens. In the balance of power, we believe that the citizens' interest remains paramount. And at the end of the day, the people really do not care who owns the road. The people care that the road is repaired. So the idea of a One Road Authority, we are in the thinking stage of it, and we're going to be consulting with the Master Builders Association, the municipal corporations and others about how we can formulate a comprehensive framework to govern our road infrastructure.
Minister Morgan says there's a clear need for one single body to oversee the upkeep of the country's road network.
There is no unified standard for fixing roads in Jamaica. So there was a time when some people were still using double surface, chip and spray they call it. But then there's another thing where people are insisting that they use concrete. But then there's another set of people who are saying we don't need concrete. And these are some of the challenges which has created the need for one unified regulatory and in some cases implementing entity to look at all roads. So imagine placing all roads in Jamaica under one regulatory framework, meaning all roads in Jamaica will be subjected to standards.
Robert Morgan, Works Minister. The One Road Authority would create a single regulatory framework to govern all roads. It would establish uniform construction and maintenance standards, ensuring consistent quality across parishes and contractors. The single authority would also improve planning through accurate road mapping, using GIS and other methods to track road age, construction methods, and expected lifespan. It would eliminate duplication and accelerate project delivery, enabling better budgeting, scheduling, and maintenance planning. Meanwhile, Minister Morgan says the government will soon craft a bill to address the vexed issue of the spilling of aggregate on the roads.
We're going to implement a section of the Road Traffic Act that says if something emanates from the vehicle you're driving that damages the road infrastructure, the fine is $300,000. We have not implemented it before, but we're going to implement it now, which means that for each time a cement truck drops cement on the road, the fine will be $300,000. So if you drop it 10 times, the fine is $3 million. Why is this important for the government to do? The public invests significant amount of money in road infrastructure. Last year we spent over $7 billion in routine maintenance. But yet, in many cases, the government is not getting value for that investment.
Under Jamaica's Road Traffic Act, truck drivers who spill material like cement or garbage on the road face fines of up to $300,000 and or 3 months in prison. They can also be held liable for the cost of road repairs. This is in addition to a fine of up to $50,000 for a load projecting more than 30 centimeters from the rear of the vehicle without warning devices. Minister Morgan says this is to protect the government's considerable investments in repairing the road network.
Not just cement trucks, but people who dump aggregate on the road, people who do all of these things. And as we recover and we're building resilience coming out of Melissa, one of the contemplations we have to think about is value for money. Because I cannot hold a contractor accountable for a road that is decaying before time when he is not responsible for the decay. So the damage to our roads fundamentally undermines the contractual relationship. So when you dump cement on Red Hills Road, I cannot blame the contractor if the road decays before time, which means that the public does not get value for money.
Robert Morgan, Works Minister. The management of the Bahia Group of Hotels is set to proceed with the termination of jobs of the employees at its resorts in Jamaica. This follows a meeting between the hotel management and the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, BITU, on Wednesday. President General of the BITU, Senator Cavan Gale, says the union advocated for an enhanced redundancy package for workers.
The Bustamante Industrial Trade Union today would have met with the management of the Grand Bahia Principe Hotel. The hotel still maintained its intention to proceed with the termination of employees at the hotel. And given what we consider to be the extraordinary economic and social circumstances created by their intention that would mark significant job losses, we would have proposed to the hotel what we consider an enhanced redundancy payment provision outside of what is prescribed by law, to include certain other payments as part of the calculation.
On Monday, the Ministry of Labour met with hotel management and the union to seek to resolve the issues concerning the possible redundancy exercise. The hotel had originally planned to close the Bahia Principe Grand Jamaica and Bahia Principe Luxury for a $15 billion renovation exercise. But then Hurricane Melissa hit the country, causing extensive damage to both properties. The hotel management has assessed the damage at $850 million Jamaican dollars. These developments have resulted in the indefinite closure of both resorts and will now see 2,000 staff members lose their jobs. The Labour Ministry had advised both parties to return to consultations at the local level. Senator Gale says among the measures the union advocated for are continued health benefits for workers.
Critical to that is, for the period to which the employees would have been exposed, continuation of the health insurance benefit to some of these employees, due to the fact that the redundancy in our mind would lead to increased stress and mental strain and possibly health challenges. So we wanted to ensure that in the very least, for a defined period, these employees would have been exposed to any redundancy, have the opportunity to use their health benefits.
Senator Cavan Gale, President General of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union. Police assigned to the Agricultural Protection Branch, along with members of the St. Thomas Police Division, recovered 4 stolen goats in the parish last Friday. The animals were valued at $390,000. They were recovered during an intelligence-led operation conducted in Glasgow, Whitehall in the parish. Reports are that the police team was conducting inquiries within the Seaforth and Bath police area regarding the report of 4 stolen goats. During the operation, the lawmen visited a premises where the animals were suspected to have been hidden. Further investigations led to the recovery of the 4 goats, which were positively identified by the owner. No arrests were made.
Benjamin's is flavoring the holidays. Shop, scan, and win your share of over 1.5 million in prizes. Bake it, cook it, mix it. Benjamin's will flavor it. The time by Benjamin's Flavor the Holidays promotion is
6:19.
Spring into style with Unique Living. Upgrade your home with our extensive range of products. Get sleek shower panels, stylish vanities, LED and non-LED mirrors, plus kitchen sinks, closet solutions, ceiling fans, and more. Available in various finishes and sizes. Visit shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10. Call 876-755-3661 or visit our website at www.uniquelivingja.com. Don't wait to spring into style with Unique Living.
Time now for regional news. Vincentials will decide on this Thursday if the incumbent Unity Labour Party, ULP, will get an unprecedented 6th consecutive term at the helm of government. The ULP is led by 5-term Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The party is being challenged by the opposition New Democratic Party, NDP, under the leadership of Dr. Godwin Friday. The NDP is seeking to end 25 years of political drought. The parties are each fielding 15 candidates. In 2020, Dr. Gonsalves' ULP secured 9 seats, while the opposition won 6. Polling stations will open at 7 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. Further afield, the death toll from a massive fire that broke out at a residential apartment complex in Hong Kong on Wednesday has risen to 55. More than 70 people are injured and nearly 300 remain missing. Thick smoke continues to pour out of the Wang Fuk Court complex in Tai Po district on Thursday as firefighters continue to battle the blaze. The complex includes 2,000 apartments and over 4,600 residents. The fire began on the external scaffolding of a 32-story tower. It spread on the bamboo scaffolding and construction netting to the inside of the building and then across 7 of the complex's 8 buildings. Authorities said fires in 4 buildings had been effectively put out, with the remaining 3 towers under control. 3 employees of the construction company have been arrested and are being held on suspicion of manslaughter.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? Geoland Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. Geoland Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
We in this together, hands on hearts spread wide. We know things will get better, working side by side. We in this together, rebuilding homes and lives, no matter the weather. You are not alone.
Sagicor is contributing over $200 million to Jamaica's Hurricane Melissa recovery. We're also standing by our clients. If you're a client in need of support, call 888-SAGICOR.
Time now for sport. The two-day tour match between the West Indies and the New Zealand Board 11 ended in a draw on Thursday morning in Lincoln. The West Indies declared on their overnight 346 for 5, then dismissed the select side for 264. Johan Lane took 3 wickets, while Jamel Warrican and Kavem Hodge took 2 each. Cam Paul made 91 for the Board 11 and Mohammad Abbas 61. Together put on 136 for the 4th wicket. This is the only warm-up game for the Windies ahead of the first test against the Kiwis in Christchurch starting next Tuesday. Mount Pleasant attacker Kimoni Bailey says he's buzzing with excitement ahead of the club's decisive CONCACAF Caribbean Cup return leg final against Universidad-owned MFC of the Dominican Republic at the National Stadium on December 2. The St. Anne-based team holds a 1-0 advantage going into the clash thanks to Bailey's composed finish in the 8th minute of the first leg, which separated the sides in Santo Domingo. The midfielder says the early goal has concretized his team's belief, but he insists the job is far from done.
We're not going to be complacent. We're just going to know that we have to work at home. We need the support from the fans because, it's a devastating time now in our country, so we just have to keep working hard.
Kimoni Bailey, Mount Pleasant attacker. Paul Liao was recently crowned chairman of the AMG Buccaneer Memorial Golf Tournament at Caymanas Golf Club. The tournament, which was the first golf event since the passage of Hurricane Melissa, netted $1,500,000 for 2 charities, the Laws Street Trade Training Center in downtown Kingston and the Jamaica Golf Association's Caddy Relief Fund to support caddies in the western end of the island who have been negatively affected by the hurricane. Liao scored 4 over par 76 to lead the men's and men's senior categories at the end of round 1, but gave up the lead to the former Windies Cricket Board president Dave Cameron during round 2 to lead by 2 shots at the start of the 18th hole. His final shot of the tournament was a well-needed birdie for a 6 over par 78 and a total score of 10 over par 154. The birdie ended Cameron's chances of winning his first golf tournament, which he eventually lost by 1 shot after registering 11 over par 155. Ryan Liu was 3rd on 157. Liao says he benefited from Dave Cameron's mistake.
Yes, it turned out to be a thrilling end on the 18 green. So Dave was leading me by 2 shots and he teed off. He didn't have a very good tee shot. He got himself in some trouble. And then it ended up on the green where he was on the green for 3 and I was in the bunker for 2. So I knew that if I could possibly get a good shot on the green and make par and he would, maybe double bogey, we would go to a playoff. But I was more than happily to realize that Dave was a little bit nervous with his putting, left his putt really short, the first putt, and I just happened to sink the birdie, made 3, and he double bogeyed and I nipped him by 1. That was pretty thrilling in the end, yeah.
You suspect Dave will not live this down for a long time, eh? Tony Gooden on 166 bagged the Masters Trophy. Jacob Schnorr with 193 won the boys 14 to 15 category, while Alessandra Coe on 181 won the corresponding girls 14 to 15 category. That's sports.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Time now for business news. Stocks edged up on Thursday while growing expectations for a Federal Reserve rate cut next month kept the US dollar a touch softer against most currencies except the yen. The Japanese currency remained on intervention watch as traders weighed the prospect of a rate hike before year's end. A holiday-shortened weekend has limited some of the activity across markets. Stocks have kept a largely upbeat tone and currencies are much more sedate as investors shrug off AI bubble worries that had roiled equities earlier in November. The U.S. markets are closed for the Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday and will only have a short session on Friday. European markets opened modestly higher with the Stoxx 600 index in positive territory. It's echoing the firmer tone across Asian equity markets overnight as gains in defense and the tech companies offset losses in healthcare stocks. Tesla has opened its largest sales and service hub in India, even as the EV giant struggles with weak sales in Asia's third largest economy. The center in the northern city of Gurugram combines an experienced showroom, charging and after-sales service under one roof. Dealership data show the EV maker sold just over 100 cars in India since its much-publicized debut in July this year. Sources close to the company tell the BBC Tesla is now focusing on strengthening India's EV ecosystem in a bid to revive sales momentum. Tesla didn't directly respond to BBC queries about the low sales numbers. In foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar will open against the benchmark U.S. currency, selling for an average $161.27. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican will open trading at an average of $114.56. And finally, the Jamaican dollar will begin selling for an average $212.12 against the British pound. That's business this morning.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:30. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
know and ting. We have them going and ting. Now pop, no style. All strictly roots. Now pop, no style. All strictly roots. See me on the road and you no call out to me. Do you see me in my pants and ting? See me in my altar back. See me give you heart attack. Give me little bass, make me wine out my waist. Uptown top ranking. See me in my Benz and ting. Dolly true Constant Spring. Them checks say we come from Cosmo Spring, but the true them no know and ting. Them no know say we top ranking. Uptown top ranking.
Musical youth.
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side.
Why?
Pass the dutchie on the left
I wonder why.
hand side. It a go bun. It a go done. Jano. It is a cool and lonely, breezy afternoon. How does it feel when you got no food? You could feel it 'cause it was the month of June. How does it feel when you got no food? So I left my gate and went out for a walk. How does it feel when you got no food? As I passed the dreadlocks camp, I heard them say.
What the man say? What not he say? What not he say?
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side.
Rasaid.
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side.
It a go bun.
Give me the music, make me.
I tell them a party no you. No meat. No pork. You know, as we wish you good morning on this Thursday morning, you know, I read a fascinating interview, Said, some time ago with the surviving members of musical youths who did this song. And they were saying that when this song hit in the UK, it was massive everywhere. And the member said the song was so huge that there was a concert, it may have been at Wembley, and their manager brought them into a room and told them that somebody important wanted to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that important person who wanted to meet them on the strength of that song was?
The Queen.
Michael Jackson.
Oh.
The man, they say when Michael Jackson walked in the room, they nearly faint.
Yeah.
Can you say, hold on, Michael Jackson want to meet we? Yeah, that was how huge the song was. A lot of issues caused them not to follow up the hit. You know, one hit wonders,
Yeah.
but what a hit. Yeah?
Fear.
Yeah. I you know the Rasta version where I say,
No.
you're a man of the law. You're a man of the law. Said is a man of the law, Mr. King. Be careful. You think easy? Which propaganda you talking about? No party left. Anyway, we don't run outside time.
A propaganda here for the dread.
No man, no propaganda.
I forgot to tell me that one day off here.
That's cool, man. But yeah, man, Michael Jackson requested to meet the boys who did that song.
We did that song.
That for sure you big it was.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, top of the morning to you listeners, viewers, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, yeah. It is Friday Eve, as I affectionately call it, because, you know, the day before Friday. And of course, Friday is a favorite day. But yeah, big tunes coming to you from Alton James there. You know, the old hit. Alton.
Oh, what you say?
No.
We give a pass. Ellis.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes. Alton.
Don't worry yourself, me help you out, man. Don't worry
Yeah,
yourself.
help me out,
Don't worry
you know.
yourself.
Remember, say, we never there on them time.
I'm there to help you out. Don't worry yourself.
But yeah, so yesterday.
Professionally, I hope you never have to help me.
Why not?
No, me no, I have no problem, but you have it. That's the point, baby.
So you don't buy a house?
No, I have already. But hold on.
So you don't buy more house or more land? You don't buy more.
You want me to tell the people how much house I have? But good.
You can never have enough, George.
Yeah?
You can never have enough.
Me don't have nothing for me. I would need
And
liar.
if you have to sell one of them, yeah, you might need me.
Ask most people, we don't have nothing or we need liar for. Nothing at all. Because if me have never pay enough money, you can cheap. Continue.
Well, it's a
Continue,
good come cheap, that's all.
There you go.
You know, that is always funny, because people always say that to me. Oh, me no want to need a lawyer, you know. Me no need somebody say, you don't plan for buy a house? Or you know, plan for rent your yard.
Them think again. I say,
Nothing.
you have a
Oh,
point.
Yeah, you have a point.
Yeah,
You know? I don't know why people always think I have to be in trouble. But so them say. But yesterday, George, was the International Day for the Elimination of Violence against Women. And you know, I paused a bit yesterday to reflect on it. And I sat with some reality. I did some digging on the stats in the Caribbean. And violence against women is still very bad.
Yeah.
The numbers very, very bad in the Caribbean. And it is not an abstract global theme as, you know, some would like to paint it. You know, it's abstract, it's just out there. It's not. It's literally our daily struggle. And when you look at Jamaica, if we're being honest, it is our daily struggle. And violence against women in Jamaica, it's not something we acknowledge once a year. We shouldn't acknowledge it once a year. It is a shadow that hangs over many homes, many relationships, and frankly speaking, too many lives. It is whispered confession of a woman who can, you know, find the courage to speak. And it is the scar of a mother who hides under a long sleeve. It is certainly the silence of a daughter who carries because she was told, don't mash up the family home, for example. And it is a community that hears the shouting next door, sees the bruises and says nothing because Anna my business. And I recall, George, a lot of the times, speaking to my grandmother, for example, she would say, and even my mother's generation, she would say, there is no community like there was before. Back in the days, when you speak about a Jamaican community, being your brother's keeper, everybody know each other in the community and know what is what. That was the case. But now, not my business. That's what rings throughout Jamaican communities. Not my business. And frankly speaking, it is our business. Because every life lost, every woman bruised, every child traumatized, every family destroyed, it comes back to bite us. Because the cycle repeats, the cases continue, the cries sometimes get dismissed, and then it leaves this cyclical problem. And as of today, I want us to have a serious conversation. I want to begin the conversation. Because it's not just about women suffering, it's about a society that continues to allow women to suffer. And gender-based violence is not simply a crime, it is a culture. It really is a culture, it's a belief system. It is an inheritance of generations. And until we confront the things we culturally endorse, we'll be standing here every year saying the same things, mourning the same losses, and burying the same daughters. There were statistics coming from the United Nations, 3 out of every 5 men who are abusive, their fathers were also abusive. 3 out of every 5. And for 1 out of every 5 men, they were around a male figure, apart from their father who was abusive. So accumulatively, 4 out of every 5 men who are perpetrators of domestic violence or violence against women were around men in their lives who were also abusive. So the reality is, we continue to have these high gender-based violence rates. And year after year, the statistics show that women killed by intimate partners, some who also kill themselves, assaulted by partners, controlled by partners, isolated, threatened, manipulated, robbed of their autonomy, they're all there, but the numbers only tell half the story because the reality is 55% of women report it. So there are 45% of women out there who are going through all of those things who do not report it. So in other words, to put the statistics in context for you, for every woman that reports domestic violence, there are 10 more that don't. And that belief that women who report it, you know, and some who stay silent is because them shame or, you know, financial dependence, or frankly speaking, there's a belief that there's nobody to help them. And we have to ask ourselves, where does that problem come from? And I submit that it comes from the way we treat our survivors. We ask them why you never leave, how you so fool, or what you doing, how you make the man a beat you. And we don't ask the abuser why he feels entitled to perpetrate that type of harm towards someone they claim to love. And so that is the problem, I think. We have built a society that treats survivors as suspects and perpetrators as merely misunderstood men who just lost control for a moment. But violence, ladies and gentlemen, is not a moment. It is a mindset. And this mindset thrives where there is silence, where there is stigma, where there is poverty, and where there are weak systems and a culture of acceptance. So if you want to change the trajectory of violence against women in Jamaica, we have to start by shifting the culture that supports it. We have to challenge harmful beliefs passed down in our homes, our music, our jokes, and sometimes even our toxic relationships. We must talk to our sons differently. We must teach our daughters differently. And we must hold men accountable, not just in the courts, but in their communities, among their peers. In other words, a man who says that he's an upstanding man should not be friending a man who does not take care of his children and a man who beats women.
That's right.
Frankly speaking, if you are a man and you have your brethren and you know someone beat your woman, it's also a reflection of you. If you're a man and you have a close brethren and you know him not taking care of him, pitting your door, saying nothing to him, it's also a reflection of you.
That's right.
And so as a society, we have to now strengthen the support system for our survivors. Because it is not enough to tell women to just walk away when they have nowhere to go, no income, no shelter, and no guarantee that the man who abused them won't come looking for revenge. And so we need safer houses. We need stronger social services. We have the trained police officers. And we have the courts who treat with these cases. But importantly, men have to be a part of the solution. Because while women bear the brunt of the violence, they cannot be the only ones fighting it. And so, I think we need to start calling out our friends. Communities must start rejecting the idea that man must rule and man this and man that. And as she provoked the man, communities must reject those ideas. Because beyond policy and beyond politics, that day yesterday, it forced me to sit with the human reality. The woman who gets up every morning, puts on makeup to hide the bruises, drops her children to school, goes to work, smiles through the pain, and returns home to a battlefield. The teenager who is afraid to tell her family what is happening. The woman who keeps hoping that he will change. The mother who is killed while trying to leave. And of course, the child who grows up seeing the violence as love. These are the stories we must carry with us. And these are the lives we must defend. So, yesterday was International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. And I want to ask Jamaica a question. What kind of society do we want to be? One where we protect perpetrators by our silence? Or one where we protect women by our courage? Because culture can change. Societies can evolve. Because violence cannot be a destiny. So, we have to acknowledge the pain. It grows through education and accountability, and it becomes transformation when we decide that every woman, regardless of class, age, race, circumstance, deserves safety, dignity, and freedom. So yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, it was a reminder that we need to protect our women. And today, going forward, needs to be a commitment. A commitment that we will not normalize the violence, that we will not remain silent, that we will not excuse destructive behavior, and that we will not fail our women and our girls. Not in our homes, our communities, or workplaces, certainly nowhere in Jamaica. And so I stand today, and I ask you to stand with me for every survivor, every voice still trembling, every woman still fighting, and every daughter that Jamaica must refuse to lose. Not just November 25, November 26, but every day. That's what's on my mind.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:48.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The Temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
24 degrees in Kingston, 25 in Montego Bay, and 19 degrees in Mandeville.
SCL Jamaica Limited is having a big blowout sale. Up to 70% off on Milwaukee tools. From power drills to saws, their top-notch Milwaukee tools will handle any project with ease. Hurry to SCL Jamaica Limited at Block L, Sagicor Industrial Center, 7 Norman Road, or call 876-938-1397 for more details. Sale runs November 10 to 28. Terms and conditions apply. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
This is a public service announcement from JPS. JPS is urging customers not to pay anyone to have their electricity service reconnected. Customers are reminded that unauthorized reconnections can be extremely dangerous and can result in serious injury, electrocution, or damage to property. This practice is unethical, illegal, and could delay restoration efforts. If anyone claiming to represent JPS requests payment for reconnection services, report it immediately to the nearest police station or JPS. JPS thanks all customers for their patience as teams continue working to restore power safely and as quickly as possible. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
No, listeners, so Saeed is correct to say, for men who have men who are beating up their women.
Whoa. Men that have men.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. No. We don't have a certain default setting. So when we speak with the clarity that people have come to expect the words to be used. So men who have friends who are men, no problem, who have children and not mind the children, Saeed says we must cut them off, and I endorse that 100%. Men who have friends who are men who have beat up them girl, Saeed says they must cut them off, and I agree. So I say to Saeed as Saeed goes to Ludlow, that men who have friends who are men who are over 25 years old and not a youth, cut them off. So Saeed, as of today, me and you done. Chevron, Ricardo, Wolano, done with it.
I think you should up that age to
Michael
30.
Jamal
32.
Hold on.
Over the age of 32.
Wait, hold on. If there are 14 men here at Nationwide on a day-to-day basis, how much of them have you? No more 3 away. So me, you, Cliff, who else? And that is it. Not Kevin. Oh, Bugs. So 4. No, sir. But Kevin, have you?
Kimali.
Which Kimali? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, but Kimali.
No.
Kimali have you?
No, he doesn't. That's a rumor.
No.
Neil 47 and Neil now. No, sir. So if you have a friend who is a man and him not a youth and him over 25,
32.
cut him off.
25, George?
You're bad company.
25?
Yeah, keep bad company.
You don't fit there 25, George?
Anyway, go to Ludlow.
King just said, Nationwide could have pack up a minibus with Geraldine. And I'll be the driver. I will be the Geraldine driver.
I record the doctor.
Yeah.
A chef and the navigator.
You know, Ludlow, street smarts. Good morning, Ludlow.
Morning, George. Wow.
Morning, sir.
Very entertaining, but I tell you, hilarious. Anyway, the situation out in the east, remember that stretch of highway coming out of St. Thomas to George Bogle Highway, pretty good vehicles are moving swiftly heading into the 7 miles area. I will have a slight little build up there. It's building all the time. It builds later, maybe like about 7 after 7, it builds much more. But so far, it's pretty good movement heading out to Florida Glasgow Highway, and then by extension, making that right turn by the light there onto Winwood Road, going up towards Mountain View, and then going across to places like Victoria Avenue and East Queen Street and going into downtown. On the other side, it's Michael Manley Boulevard all the way out to Port Royal Street. Good movement for the time being.
And those of you coming from the other side, west, coming towards the east, going through the toll, that's in the Portmore section, the Portmore toll, using the Marcus Garvey ramp. It's pretty good. Vehicles are moving, but it's building all the time. And later, I'm sure you're going to have a greater buildup of traffic. So far, good movement coming from the east, heading west, and from the west, going east in that area, that southern street there. It's pretty good movement. So until about 7:20 or thereabouts, it's back to you.
Oh, God. When Mother's Day are nationwide, they have to send whole heap of text message to individual mothers. When Father's Day, about 2 messages we send. Your word of the day.
It's a G word, it's not gelding.
Gelding. Mr. King, I get time to find it, you know. Gelding. Spell it again. Gelding.
Gelding. Gelding. Gelding.
The word is gelding, is the word of the day. The meaning of gelding is a castrated animal. Yeah? Archaic eunuch. Sentence. California has experienced no such drought in producing winners of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. The race for colts, like myself and King, and geldings, like Saeed, that usually identifies the early favorite for the Kentucky Derby. Play it again, King. The word of the day?
Gelding. Gelding.
Gelding is the
Gelding.
word of the day. Your features up next, and at the top of the hour, the news at 7.
As we journey through life, it's natural to accumulate possessions, mementos from travels, gifts from loved ones, and items we've collected over the decades. However, holding on to too many things can lead to physical clutter and mental unrest. Studies have shown that decluttering can reduce stress and anxiety, creating a more serene living environment. Minimalism isn't about living with nothing. It's about living with what truly adds value to your life. By focusing on essential and cherished items, you can create a space that reflects your current needs and desires. This shift can help in improving your mental clarity and a greater sense of control over your environment. Start small. Begin with a single drawer or closet. Tackling small areas can provide a sense of accomplishment and motivate you to continue. The 4-box method. Label 4 boxes as keep, donate, sell, and discard. As you sort through items, place each into the appropriate box. This method helps in making clear decisions about what stays and what goes. Cherish memories digitally. For sentimental items that occupy space, consider taking photographs and storing them digitally. This way you preserve the memory without the physical clutter. Set realistic goals. Allocate specific times for decluttering sessions and don't rush the process. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. A concept gaining popularity is the Swedish practice of döstädning, or death cleaning. It's a process of decluttering with the intent of easing the burden on loved ones in the future. While the term might sound morbid, it's truly about reflecting on what items are meaningful and ensuring your possessions don't become a hassle for family members later on. Embracing minimalism can lead to financial benefits too. Selling unneeded items can provide extra income, and reducing unnecessary purchases saves money. Moreover, a clutter-free environment can decrease the risk of accidents, contributing to better physical health. Decluttering isn't just about tidying up. It's a transformative journey that allows you to focus on what truly matters. By letting go of the excess, you make room for experiences, relationships, and joys that enrich your life.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
The little habits that we practice on a daily basis, and they add up to an important total or whole picture. This is Lifestyle Pages on Good Manners. This is the total picture that you present to the world to tell them about what kind of person you are. Your behavior should not differ from that of your family and friends and change towards strangers. When you go shopping or to a restaurant, do you treat the salesperson or waiter like a piece of furniture? Or do you treat him or her as a human being who's entitled to the same courtesy and consideration you expect for yourself? Rudeness always involves a loss of dignity. But it is our dignity that is lost, not the dignity of those on whom you inflict your rudeness. A mannerly person would never retaliate by being equally rude. I am Valerie, and those were your lifestyle pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Ormo Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
24 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 today, Thursday, November 27, 2025, police say bus that crashed near Old Harbour on Wednesday, killing 5 and injuring over 15, was overcrowded. ODPEM says vector control measures are underway in areas with high water levels following Hurricane Melissa. Education Ministry says more than 800 schools have reopened across the island following the passage of the hurricane. And in international news, Hong Kong fire death toll rises to 55.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Head of the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTEB ACP Dr. Gary McKenzie, says early investigations show that the Toyota Hiace minibus involved in Wednesday's fatal crash on the East-West Highway in St. Catherine was speeding. The collision, which occurred near Old Harbour, killed 5 people and left more than 15 injured.
At about 3 p.m., a Toyota Hiace motor truck, which is one of those minibuses plying the route from Mandeville to Spanish Town, was traveling easterly along the P.J. Patterson Highway when on reaching the vicinity of Sharper Lane or Old Harbour. For some reason, the vehicle veered to the left, went off the roadway, overturned. The result of the vehicle crashing, being damaged in the manner that it is, as well as the nature of the injuries, clearly suggests that the vehicle was traveling at a very good speed.
ACP McKenzie says the minibus was carrying more passengers than it was licensed to do.
That particular vehicle should actually be a 16-seater. And so the fact that there was 4 or 5 more persons in it indicates that the vehicle would be traveling with excess passenger, which of course is a breach of the law. Manufacturers of vehicles will have what is known as laden and unladen weight. And certainly when vehicles are traveling, what happens when we have loads that are not fixed, meaning that people who are movable, then certainly weight transfer, depending on what happened in the case of a sudden swerve or making a corner, could cause weight transfer that may affect maneuverability.
ACP Dr. Gary McKenzie, head of PSTEB, he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Transport Minister Daryl Vaz says Wednesday's crash on the East-West Highway near Old Harbour in St. Catherine underscores the urgent need for heightened vigilance and responsible behaviour on the nation's roads. He notes this is particularly important as we approach the busy Christmas season. Minister Vaz says the crash is a heartbreaking tragedy. He notes the ministry is committed to supporting the ongoing investigation. He's again urging road users to exercise caution, stressing that split-second lapses can have life-altering consequences. The ministry is also appealing to citizens to desist from recording, sharing, or circulating graphic images or videos of crash victims out of respect for the families of the deceased and to avoid compromising ongoing investigations. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, consults parish disaster committees when deciding where to send hurricane relief. The minister was responding to claims from the opposition that aid distribution is being politically influenced.
In every parish, there's a parish development committee, which is chaired by the mayors of each parish. Parish disaster coordinators work closely with the ODPEM, and everything that is done is filtered through the parish development committee, where all members of parliament in every parish is a part of those committees. And the ODPEM should not be interacting with the political directorate, so anybody can accuse the organization of being political.
On Tuesday, opposition leader Mark Golding accused the government of failing to involve the PNP in any of the committees created to respond to Hurricane Melissa. But speaking at a media briefing at the office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday, Minister McKenzie reminded the country that Mark Golding is a member of the official Disaster Response Committee.
There's a committee that was established in Parliament. The opposition refused to sit on that committee. The Prime Minister outlined the steps that we are taking to have an inclusive Jamaica in the process. We're just getting out of the hurricane. It is going to take some time to put the structures in place. And I would urge the media and other Jamaicans to respect the fact that the government has been working and things will come around.
Desmond McKenzie, Local Government Minister. Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, Commander Alvin Gale, says vector control measures are underway in areas with high water levels following Hurricane Melissa. Commander Gale was speaking at a media briefing at the Office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday.
There's nothing we can physically do about the rising waters. What is occurring now, I can tell you, is that right across all which are flooded, the waters have been gradually receding. So we're watching that as it goes down. But in terms of vector control mechanisms, those are being put in place in those communities.
Areas such as Chigwell in Hanover and Content in Manchester have experienced elevated groundwater levels since the hurricane, leaving homes flooded and roads impassable. Commander Gale says entities such as the Jamaica Fire Brigade and Health Ministry are actively responding in areas still affected by floodwaters.
Our recovery efforts are ongoing right across all sectors. In terms of all communities, there's no special treatment towards those parts of the communities. The communities which remain flooded, there is some work ongoing from the Jamaica Fire Brigade and the JDF teams to treat with the water situations there and in terms of the other environmental matters pertinent to the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Commander Alvin Gale, Director General of ODPEM. Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says more than 800 schools across the island have reopened following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The minister provided the update at a media briefing at the Office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday.
Today, 845 schools are operational, and that's really a great thing given what has happened in the West. I'm even more happy to tell you that in Region 4, and Region 4 has the schools that have had the most damage in terms of Westmoreland and Hanover and St. James. They're all in Region 4, and I'm so happy to tell you that 24 of the 25 high schools in Region 4 are open for grades 11 to 13.
Dr. Morris-Dixon previously announced that the ministry would be prioritizing those students in secondary schools who are due to sit external exams. She says this priority is dictating the method being used to reopen some schools.
So those are for our students who are doing CSEC and CAPE, 24 out of 25 in the most affected area. We're expecting that within the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to get all students back in. But it will be on a rotational, a shift basis. So that's the interim solution. But our focus has been on bringing in those students who have external exams. And so that's been the priority.
Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, Minister of Education. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Chris Tufton says assessments are ongoing into the damage done to health centres by Hurricane Melissa. He was speaking at a media briefing at the office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday.
We have attempted to restore services, if not the infrastructure of our health centres. 101 health centres have been impacted in the zone of the storm. We have about 325 health centres in total, approximately 101 impacted in various ways. 25 or so badly damaged, either totally damaged or extensively damaged. As of now, the assessment is being done. Similarly so with the hospitals, and bringing those back to a point where the services can be provided, even if in a makeshift facility, whether it's a tier 1 tent type health center or the field hospital.
Several health centres have reopened across the island since Melissa's passage last month. Dr. Tufton says the physical and mental well-being of medical workers impacted by the hurricane is being given priority attention.
We have been attempting to ensure that our health staff, through our assessment, come back to normality in terms of their physical possession and their losses. Of course, giving them some emotional support also. And between those local workers and the teams that have come in, many teams, we have been able to establish the personnel that is required to give the support for the services. And that, in the immediate aftermath of the storm, we believe is going well, in that persons, Jamaicans who need attention, are in fact getting attention.
Dr. Chris Tufton, Health Minister. The government is to engage in consultations with stakeholders on the proposed One Road Authority. Works Minister Robert Morgan provided the update at a seminar hosted by the Incorporated Master Builders Association of Jamaica at the Jamaica Conference Centre on Tuesday.
It is not a plan by the government to disempower authorities. It is a plan to empower citizens. In the balance of power, we believe that the citizens' interest remains paramount. And at the end of the day, the people really do not care who owns the road. The people care that the road is repaired. So the idea of a One Road Authority, we are in the thinking stage of it, and we're going to be consulting with the Master Builders Association, the municipal corporations, and others about how we can formulate a comprehensive framework to govern our road infrastructure.
Minister Morgan says there's a clear need for one single body to oversee the upkeep of the country's road network.
There is no unified standard for fixing roads in Jamaica. So there was a time when some people were still using double surface, chip and spray they call it. But then there's another thing where people are insisting that you use concrete. But then there's another set of people who are saying we don't need concrete. And these are some of the challenges which has created the need for one unified regulatory and in some cases implementing entity to look at all roads. So imagine placing all roads in Jamaica under one regulatory framework, meaning all roads in Jamaica will be subjected to standards.
Robert Morgan, Works Minister. The One Road Authority would create a single regulatory framework to govern all roads. It would establish uniform construction and maintenance standards, ensuring consistent quality across parishes and contractors. The single authority would also be designed to improve planning through accurate road mapping, using GIS and other methods to track road age, construction method, and expected lifespan. It is also intended to eliminate duplication and accelerate project delivery, enabling better budgeting, scheduling, and maintenance planning. Meanwhile, Minister Morgan says the government will soon craft a bill to address the vexed issue of the spilling of aggregate on the roads.
We're going to implement a section of the Road Traffic Act that says if something emanates from the vehicle you're driving that damages the road infrastructure, the fine is $300,000. We have not implemented it before, but we're going to implement it now, which means that for each time a cement truck drops cement on the road, the fine will be $300,000. So if you drop it 10 times, the fine is $3 million. Why is this important for the government to do? The public invests significant amount of money in the road infrastructure. Last year we spent over $7 billion in routine maintenance. But yet, in many cases, the government is not getting value for that investment.
Robert Morgan, Works Minister. The management of the Bahia Group of Hotels is set to proceed with the termination of jobs of the employees at its resorts in Jamaica. This follows a meeting between the hotel management and the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, BITU, on Wednesday. President General of the BITU, Senator Cavan Gale, says the union advocated for an enhanced redundancy package for workers.
The Bustamante Industrial Trade Union today would have met with the management of the Grand Bahia Principe Hotel. The hotel still maintained its intention to proceed with the termination of employees at the hotel, and given what we consider to be the extraordinary economic and social circumstances created by their intention that would mark significant job losses, we would have proposed to the hotel what we consider an enhanced redundancy payment provision outside of what is prescribed by law, to include certain other payments as part of the calculation.
On Monday, the Ministry of Labour met with hotel management and the union to seek to resolve the issues concerning a possible redundancy exercise. The hotel had originally planned to close the Bahia Principe Grand Jamaica and Bahia Principe Luxury for a $15 billion renovation exercise. But then Hurricane Melissa hit, causing extensive damage to both properties. The hotel management has assessed the damage at $850 million Jamaican dollars. These developments have resulted in the indefinite closure of both resorts and will now see 2,000 staff lose their jobs. The Labour Ministry had advised both parties to return to consultations at the local level. Senator Gale says among the measures the union is advocating for are continued health benefits for workers.
Critical to that is, for the period to which the employees would have been exposed, continuation of the health insurance benefit to some of these employees, due to the fact that the redundancy in our mind would lead to increased stress and mental strain and possibly health challenges. So we wanted to ensure that in the very least, for a defined period, these employees would have been exposed to any redundancy, have the opportunity to use their health benefits.
Senator Cavan Gale. Police assigned to the Agricultural Protection Branch APB along with members of the St. Thomas Police Division recovered 4 stolen goats in the parish last Friday. The animals were valued at $390,000. They were recovered during an intelligence-led operation conducted in Glasgow, Whitehall in the parish. Reports are that the police team was conducting inquiries within the Seaforth and Bath police area regarding a report of 4 stolen goats. During the operation, the lawmen identified a premises where the animals were suspected to have been hidden. Further investigation led to the recovery of 4 goats, which were positively identified by the owner. No arrests were made. An item of regional news now. Vincentials will decide today, Thursday, November 27, if the incumbent Unity Labour Party, ULP, will get an unprecedented 6th consecutive term at the helm of government. The ULP is led by 5-term Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The party is being challenged by the opposition New Democratic Party, NDP, under the leadership of Dr. Godwin Friday. The NDP is seeking to end 25 years of political drought. The parties are each fielding 15 candidates. In 2020, Dr. Gonsalves' ULP secured 9 seats, while the opposition won 6. Polling stations will open at 7 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. Further afield, the death toll from a massive fire that broke out at a residential apartment complex in Hong Kong on Wednesday has risen to 55. More than 70 people were injured and nearly 300 remain missing. Thick smoke continues to pour out of the Wang Fuk Court complex in Tai Po district as firefighters continue to battle the blaze. The complex includes 2,000 apartments and over 4,600 residents. The fire began on the external scaffolding of a 32-story tower. It spread on the bamboo scaffolding and construction netting to the inside of the building and then across 7 of the complex's 8 buildings. Authorities say fires in 4 buildings have been effectively put out, with the remaining 3 towers under control. 3 employees of the construction company have been arrested and are being held on suspicion of manslaughter. And one more item before we go. Italy's parliament on Tuesday approved a law that introduces femicide into the country's criminal law and punishes it with life in prison. The vote coincided with the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, a day designated by the UN General Assembly.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:18.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Oterius, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville. This is a public service announcement from the Transport Authority. The Transport Authority wishes to advise you that their mobile unit will be available in your area on Wednesday, November 26, 2025, and Friday, November 28, 2025, at the Sagicor Complex in Freeport, Montego Bay from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The following services will be offered: application for new and renewal of road licenses, which will be done online, and badge application and examination. Please be reminded the authority does not accept cash payment. So, the Transport Authority's mobile unit in your area today, well, not today, but Friday, November 28, 2025, at the Sagicor Complex in Freeport, Montego Bay, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. No cash payments will be allowed. The services that will be offered: application for new and renewal of road licenses, and badge application and exam. That was an important announcement from the Transport Authority.
It's the Answer Select Your Discount sale. Up to 50% off when you select your discount at Answers Gifts and Home and Answers for Children. Select your discount sale at Answers now until Sunday, December 14, 2025.
We in this together, hands on heart spread wide. We know things will get better, working side by side. We in this together, rebuilding homes and lives, no matter the weather. You are not alone.
Sagicor is contributing over $200 million to Jamaica's Hurricane Melissa recovery. We're also standing by our clients. If you're a client in need of support, call 888-SAGICOR.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Again, George, morning to our listeners, our motoring public, and all our transport stakeholders, operators, and the commuters, and our visitors, yes? Now, coming out of Portmore, George Lee Boulevard, Port Henderson Road, the Dyke Road, and also the Municipal Boulevard, these areas are busy as they try to make exit onto the Mandela from that side, the Municipal Boulevard end. Portmore Parkway is also busy, and if you're on the Elsha Main Road, trying to get to the Narrow Brayton, those areas are really active. And those of you coming from the site, going towards the toll, Fort Augusta Drive, or you're making it onto Dawkins Drive, and to exit through that toll, once you get onto Marcus, as a matter of fact, from you leave the toll, and then heading onto Marcus Garvey Drive, you're going to notice a build up there, and it's coming also from the 3 miles area, and Marcus Garvey Drive is really busy heading in that southbound direction. So it means that you're going to have traffic on Harbour Street into downtown Kingston. Some of the traffic is making it onto East Avenue, and then they go onto Spanish Town Road and then decide where they're going, whether they're going to continue down towards downtown or the parade area. You also find the traffic moving up Maxfield Avenue until they get closer to Half a Tree, where it builds because they have to connect with Agli Park Road and also Mullines Road, and then go around to South Avenue, which is already busy from this morning. So much of Constance Spring Road in the southbound area quite active. All of Waterloo going across the Trafalgar Hope Road, and not to forget, in that Ligonier area, it's going to be really busy right through the morning and even through the afternoon, Ligonier. All right, so quite an active the morning, and no doubt, as I said, during the course of the day, the traffic is no different. So until tomorrow morning, 6:45 a.m., as usual, at Street Smart, your safety is all concerned.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow there with Street Smarts 2. Up next, front page. Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales. for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. (7:24) on this Thursday morning, Thursday, November 27. You're with Nationwide this morning. This is the front page, and my name is George.
And I'm Saeed. Well, on the front page this morning, we having a technical difficulty here.
Oh, you are?
Right, there we go. So, on the front page this morning, the management of the Bahia Group of Hotels is set to proceed with the termination of jobs of the employees at its resorts in Jamaica. This follows a meeting between the hotel management and the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, the BITU, on Wednesday. The union says it's advocated for an enhanced redundancy package for the workers. On Monday, however, the Ministry of Labour met with the hotel management and the union to seek to resolve the issues concerning a possible redundancy exercise. The hotel had originally planned to close the Bahia Principe Grande Jamaica and Bahia Principe Luxury for a $15 billion renovation exercise.
But then, of course, Melissa Struck caused extensive damage to the property, valued the hotel says at about 850 million Jamaican dollars. And that development resulted in the indefinite closure of both resorts. And we'll now see about 2,000 staff lose their jobs. The Labour Ministry advised both parties to sit together and resolve the difficulties between them. We're joined this morning by President General of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, BITU, Senator Cavan Gale.
Good morning, Senator.
Morning. Morning, gentlemen. Morning to your listeners and viewers.
Thank you so much for joining us, Senator. Well, first of all, before we even go into the impact this will have, give us a walkthrough, as opposed to what we've already read and what we already know. Give us a walkthrough on the details that came from that meeting as best you can, to give us an understanding as to what exactly were the discussions.
Well, Monday, the ministry would have requested both parties to go back to the local level. We would have consulted with some of the workers, and because of the indefinite closure, it would have created anxiety among the workers and a great degree of uncertainty. And some workers would have indicated their interest to be separated. So what the union pursued at yesterday's meeting was what you considered a proposed enhanced package. We looked at the present redundancy entitlement by law, and we would have sought to increase those provisions outside of law. We took into consideration for the computation of the redundancy entitlement that it must include under normal wages gratuity payment as part of the inclusion. We would have indicated to the hotel that every employee that would have been exposed, their date of joining must be the precise period used to calculate any payment. You know, some workers would have joined the hotel on a contractual basis and then years after becoming permanent. We want date of joining to be day one from your joining for the computation of the years of service. We also indicated very strongly that in light of the fact that these workers are now going to be unemployed, the health insurance should be utilized up to March 31st of next year. You know, the workers would have been terminated just before Christmas, and it's a usual customary practice in the hotel for a bonus payment to be made. to the workers. We want that to be included in any severance package. Also, there are a number of workers who would have had financial obligations or loans with the hotel. We have requested for any such arrangement or obligation to be waived or written on. And I think one of the other proposals that we made, you would have had a social benefit of education assistance for employees' children, rather, scholarships or any educational support. We have insisted that those provisions should not be discontinued.
Okay.
And so, any exposure to the employees' children should remain in place. Those were some of the provisions that we had highlighted as part of an enhanced severance package. Given the fact that this is a very unique situation, the law is very clear on redundancies in Bahia is not ceasing to operate, nor has the roles been diminished, and they are certainly not moving from the geographical location of runaway people. And so we treat this as a very unique situation, hence the enhanced suggested package for separation.
Yeah, I want to ask you that, and I'll take your answer after the break, because at the start of your answering, you said that there are provisions in the law, and rightfully so, you want their date of joining and all of that to be from the first day as opposed to when they went on staff. Those are different matters of contentions and issues to be tried, as I'd call it. But you mentioned that you want to go beyond the law. You want more than what the law gives. And I want to understand on what basis are you pushing for that end of the proposal as it relates to going beyond what the law would necessarily provide for in the circumstances. I'll take your answer after the break.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:31.
Visit Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore, for all your prescription needs, gifts, personal care, household, and stationery items. The temperature by Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore is
26 degrees in Kingston, 26 out west in Montego Bay, and 21 in Mandeville.
SCL Jamaica Limited is having a big blowout sale. Up to 70% off on Milwaukee tools. From power drills to saws, their top-notch Milwaukee tools will handle any project with ease. Hurry to SCL Jamaica Limited at Block L, Sagicor Industrial Center, 7 Norman Road, or call 876-938-1397 for more details. Sale runs November 10 to 28. Terms and conditions apply. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
This is a public service announcement from JPS. JPS is urging customers not to pay anyone to have their electricity service reconnected. Customers are reminded that unauthorized reconnections can be extremely dangerous and can result in serious injury, electrocution, or damage to property. This practice is unethical, illegal, and could delay restoration efforts. If anyone claiming to represent JPS requests payment for reconnection services, report it immediately to the nearest police station or JPS. JPS thanks all customers for their patience as teams continue working to restore power safely and as quickly as possible. That was a public service announcement from JPS.
Sherwin-Williams brings you Colors of Hope. From November 28th to December 20th, brighten your world with 20% off select decorative paints and drive with confidence with 15% off automotive paints. Because hope starts with color. Visit your nearest Sherwin-Williams store today and let your colors tell a story of hope. Don't wait. These savings won't last forever. Sherwin-Williams, bringing hope to life.
$7:33. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're speaking with the President General of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, Senator Cavan Gale, about that situation out there in St. Anne's, Bahia Principe, and the redundancies coming into effect. Senator, you're there with us?
Yes, I'm still there.
Yes, the question I asked you before the break, as it relates to going beyond the law, getting more than what the law prescribes. What's the
Right.
basis for that?
So the law provides minimum standards. It does not prevent an employer and its employees and the bargaining agent to negotiate over and above the law. We're treating this as a very peculiar situation where it is based on the hotel's intention to refurbish, to enhance its property. Not the usual situation where you may have had closures of a property or an employment. Work has diminished. And given the situation, these employees may never be able in, any time soon, being able to be employed in a fragile tourism industry. And so we are treating it very peculiar and very unique. And it is against that background that we have sought to promote these enhanced provisions. What we are simply saying is that where the law provides for 2 weeks up to the 10th year, we are suggesting 3, and where it provides for 3 years beyond 10 years, we are suggesting 4 as part of the computation of improvement, along with all the other suggested provisions that we have sought to include in a separation package.
Were relations between the union and the hotel's management so bad, Senator Gale, that it had to take that intervention meeting at the Labour Ministry to put you on the course to an agreement?
No, let me say this, George. The relationship has been very good over many years. We saw it as a partnership. But, in any relationship, there might be new interventions or new partners. In this case, there's an alliance with Hyatt. We don't know if that would have changed the situation in terms of the standards of relationship. Certainly for the entire year, we have been hearing the rumors about possible closure. There would have been radio silence in that regard. But what triggered us to pursue the intervention of the Ministry of Labour was on last Sunday. Well, the Friday before, we would have received a letter indicating that the indefinite closure, and then communication to the entire workforce about such plans without even giving us the opportunity to respond. We saw that as at the time bad faith negotiations, and hence we thought it best.
And you suspect that you suspect that the management of the hotel before the marriage may have taken a different track to that kind of communication. And so with this new arrangement and this new way of communicating, you had to then be militant in your advocacy, is what you're saying?
We had to be militant because there was a change of course in terms of the relationship.
What
and
is
it signaled to us that this now requires an intervention.
What is it that you believe you managed to get an agreement on based on the Labour Ministry's intervention that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise if you had sat down and had a face-to-face talk on Monday?
One of the things, George, is that we're dealing with different investors. Some investors come into this country and really don't understand nor appreciate our standards, our practices, our conventions, and our legislation. And this is the ideal moment to call again on when we are interfacing with, as a country, with investors, the Ministry of Labour must have a seat at the table in the very first instance.
That should be mandatory, is what you're saying?
That should be mandatory. I have made this call for many years over successive administrations, and I'm making the call again because, our labor standards must be preserved.
Yeah. So take me on the direct question again, Senator. What is it that you got from the Labour Ministry's intervention that you don't think you'd have been able to get them to budge on if you had sat with them face to face?
Let's take it this way, because the intervention is important to remind the investors of the labour standards and to ensure that the rules of governance are protected. Now, we have not had a conclusion on the negotiations yet. We're going back to the Labour Ministry on Friday. And it is the hope and anticipation that what we would have recommended, the Ministry of Labour would facilitate and encourage.
So you're saying you're saying then that Monday's meeting was important to show the partners, those existing and those who are new to the marriage, that the labor laws are on your side.
Yeah, should be. Exactly.
Should be. All right. The other question is this. Many people over time have criticized the contracts by which hotel workers, tourism workers, are tethered to the hotels, to the companies. And they always blame government, whichever government is in charge. And I've always had a problem with that, because I'm saying, well, who negotiates the contracts on behalf of the workers? It will be you guys. So I'm saying, rather than blame you for what people say, boy, in the main are bad contracts that these tourism workers have, I'm asking if you believe that this disruption in the relationship between the staff and the hotel at Bahia, and at other hotels, if it gives the opportunity for different contracts to be signed by these workers, more beneficial to them and less exploitative as people have deemed these contracts in the past.
We have to insert legislations that protect fixed-term contract employees. We have had these rollover contracts, 3 months, 6 months, maximum a year of renewal. And you would have seen situations where these contracts are turned over a period of time, and employees would have been there for many years.
Stick up in. Don't lose your train of thought. Stick up in. Yeah. How do you get a car loan if you only have a 3-month contract or a 6-month contract?
You can't. There's a great degree of uncertainty with any provisions or providers, or even, nobody can get a loan with that level of uncertainty. It is the most precarious nature of employment.
And that's what needs to change. Look,
that's what needs to change. We need to insert legislation, and I have recommended it on numerous occasions, where there has to be minimum standards in terms of the nature of employment for contract work, or fixed term contracts.
So you're saying that but you see, Senator, the labor movement is glorious, It's been foremost in the formation of this country's politics, this country's economics, and so much. Yeah. And I was only reading something recently about the history of Westmoreland and that fire at the sugar factory and what it did for the labor movement in coalescing it around a single cause.
In 1938.
There you go. Right. Good. Yeah. So I'm saying the labor movement, I believe, has an opportunity now. The next great thing you ought to be doing for Jamaican workers is the elimination of these 3-month, 6-month, 9-month contract, because I can't go to credit union with that. I can't go to NCB or Scotia with that, or Jamaica National or VM. And you put me, I'm at the women fancy of any supervisor or manager because I only have a 3-month contract. I'm not sure if the next 3-month cycle I'm going to have a job. So I'm saying, why does this thing pervade for so long? And my labor agitators, like yourself, like those at the NWU and the UAWU, why do these things exist when people like you are still active?
It has to be a concerted effort, but it requires a Ministry of Labour to join suit, and it requires the employer to accept the fact that we need to make these changes. You remember the upheaval last year around tourism workers?
Yes.
When it became a virus?
Yes.
That was one of the systematic reasons.
But do you need it? You say you need the employers to come on board. You need them to come on board when they can change the law.
Come on board and accept it.
No, but if you change the law, they either accept it or go. No.
They either accept it or don't come.
Right. So do you really need them on board? You'd want them on board, but do you need them on board in order to effect the change that George is pressing about?
It would be important, but what we need to do is to ensure that laws are in place. If laws are in place and there's a strict ordinance in the law, then we should not have a problem.
But you see, Senator,
put the law in place.
But you see, Senator, and that's the thing, because the Labour Ministry clearly does not see the imperative to do anything about that. And it has not done anything legislatively about this. But that's why agitators such as yourself have to make this thing the primary mission. It's the next great act of the labor movement in the Senator Gale. I'm telling you how y'all can go down in history now. Because if you can change this reality, you will do a lot for workers now and the workers to come. Because I can't reconcile how I'm going to work every day slaving. I mean, only have a 3-month contract? And that is standard across the hotel industry?
As a labor movement, we just have to continue to make the call. And I urge my other colleagues in the labor movement to join hands. We have been doing it.
Yes.
We just need to intensify
Yes.
the approach towards making that fundamental change in law.
Yes. All right.
To protect workers.
So take it back a little bit. So by here now, they had said that, listen, we had an original timeline, to lock down this place and do it over. It's a fabulous property, the one in Runaway Bay, but you can see that it is in need of some care, and they recognize that. So they are doing that. So they're saying to you, Senator Gale, say, listen, understand that we're not shutting up shop and leaving. We're not saying we're turning our back on Jamaica. Don't pursue us. Don't behave as if this is it for these workers. Give us some consideration, even as you make those demands. How do you deal with that message coming to you across the table from the management?
And we are doing that, John, because one of the other safeguards in terms of our requested provision is that once you would have concluded your renovation, the workers who would have been exposed now must have the first right of call for re-engagement if they so desire.
You're getting that in writing as a commitment from them?
We have asked for that in writing. That is one of the provisions that we have placed on the table. And don't divorce yourself from the workers.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, on Monday's meeting, they would have indicated that their intention is to put out an ad. We are saying, no, you want to maintain the skilled workers, the experienced workers, the trained workers that would have been demonstrating loyalty and commitment for you over many years.
So put those names in a job bank and keep it.
And keep it.
Yes.
And they are the first ones that you should call. And if they are available and they are willing to come back, then so be it.
Okay. But as it relates to all of these things that you've been pressing for and wanting from Bahia Principe, you've had a meeting on Monday, you're meeting back with the ministry on Friday. When do you hope to get a resolution or an agreement from Bahia Principe?
Well, the signal at yesterday's meeting was that both parties intend to bring closure to this on Friday. So we hope that we can conclude those negotiations on Friday. One of the things we want to minimize as greatly as possible is the anxiety and the unease among the workforce against the uncertainty. The workforce wants closure on it.
Yeah.
They have been saying to us that they would prefer to have some level of closure. And that's why we have been intensifying the discussion.
Yeah. Senator Gale, when I was a lad, which wasn't so long ago, Saeed.
Yesterday.
Tourism work, was a seasonal activity. You had periods when your cousin would say, well, them work at Ochi, and they'd be gone for 3-4 months, then they'd come back, spend some time, and then gone again a month or 2 or so later. But those days are gone, Yeah, hotel work is occupancies at 80% and above or 75% and above right throughout the year at many properties. Some properties, their occupancy rates are higher. So the distinct defined things such as the tourist season that certainly pervaded in the 80s, 90s and after that, those things have changed. The realities have changed.
We no longer just have winter season.
And that is it. So therefore, the labor arrangements, Senator Gale, and I know you're seized on it, but I just want to impress upon you how important it is for the trade union movement to see this as its next great mission, to do this on behalf of workers, because we have so many people working like hostages on 3-month, 6-month contract. And yes, you've been there 5 years, but it's only 3 months at a time that you are signed. And it gives the kind of uncertainty that doesn't lend well to the person planning or developing. They think that tourism workers are not youngsters who live with their mother and their father, and these are people who have to fend for themselves. And so it's about building a life while working. And I'm sorry, but these contractual arrangements don't allow them to do that with certainty, Senator Gale. And that's my problem.
One of the things, Mr. George, that we would have recognized, tourism workers make a career out of working in tourism. They might be nomadic in nature when they move from one property to another property. But I totally agree with you. We need to change, and if it means that I am going to be the flag bearer on it, I intend to do so.
You should
and
walk with
one
that
of the
flag.
things that we are doing is that we are going to also, the BIT operates with some global trade unions that, have tourism workers. We are going to seek the alliance of these global trade unions to be part of the campaign towards making this change in Jamaica.
Would you say that the average tourism worker now, yes, is
they are what?
The average tourism worker now is better off than the tourism worker in one of the prime hotels in 1996, as an example?
I wouldn't say that, John. I wouldn't. In the past, tourism workers, when they enter the profession, they retire in the profession. The precarious nature of employment of fixed-term contract does not allow that. And so this level of sustainability, like you had in the 70s or 80s, no longer exists. Once you brought in the fixed-term contract arrangement, it created that level of uncertainty. You cannot really build your life on an uncertainty of a precarious nature of employment like fixed-term contract.
So a man who buck you up in the market, Senator, would say to you, so you make them sneak through that part, the fixed-term contracts?
If what? So that's
How the unions, you mean the unions, not just BITU, how the unions allow the management of these hotels to sneak through the fixed term contracts to make it a fixture of the Jamaican tourism industry?
So remember, the process is that in the first instance we would have to seek to unionize these workers in order to protect them. Take Bahia, for instance, when we got there has been a situation where how they structure their employment, 60% of the workers are on fixed-term contract, and the other 40% have been permanent. We have sought to change that to the 50-50 ratio over a period of time.
So you call it a success over time? You're moving it incrementally?
Success over time. And what we would have done during successive negotiations is to identify workers who have been there performing, and we have demanded that they be promoted to permanent status. It is something that has to be continuous. But you see, there are some of these employers, George, that hold this fixed-term contract arrangement.
Yeah.
Like the handle of the knife and the workers having them there.
And I can tell you, it's not just here. In the UK, it's a significant problem in so many parts.
It is a global problem.
Yeah.
It is a global problem. And that's why the international trade union movement has been advocating vociferously for these changes. It's not only in the tourism industry, it is in many new kinds of industries.
And you would say as well to people who will say, well, we have to be hard when the negotiations are underway about the hotels coming here, setting up shop. You have to tell them the reality that, look, these guys have options. And if it's too hard to get into Jamaica, given the labor laws, they go somewhere else, Senator Gale.
Or just accept that our standards, but we have to set the standards. We have to monitor the standards. We have to promote the standards.
Hear you on that. Thank you this morning for your time, sir.
You're most welcome.
President General of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, Government Senator Cavan Gale.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
7 minutes to 8 o'clock.
Hawkeye expresses heartfelt sympathy to all Jamaicans impacted by Hurricane Melissa. As we recover together, we remain committed to securing what matters most. The temperature by Hawkeye is
26 degrees in Kingston, 24 at Western Montego Bay, and 24 in Mandeville.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Merry, merry moments with Mitsubishi. You're rolling with we are easy breezy. For the Christmas, you know you're rolling in style. Merry moments with Mitsubishi. Merry moments, buy a sport Outlander, we cruising. Win cool gifts with the vehicle you're choosing. Eclipse Cross with the family you're moving. Merry, merry moments with Mitsubishi. Outlander, Sport Key and a Christmas tree. Grand prize win a staycation for two. Merry, merry moments with Mitsubishi.
Conditions apply.
Six minutes going up to 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for staying us. We have with us the Minister of Social Security, Labour and Social Security, that's Pernell Charles Jr. The MLSS says it's aware of a widely shared publication which has been circulating claiming that the ministry has been distributing relief supplies along partisan lines. To get a response from the minister, we are joined by Pernell Charles Jr. Good morning, sir.
Morning. Good morning to you. I hope you're hearing me clearly. I'm actually just running off of a leadership call with the ministry.
Yes, hearing you clearly.
This matter of a very unfortunate, not the video. The video itself is not the issue. It is the narration and the assertions that push whoever is watching the video to think in a particular way about the people from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security.
Right, so in that video, there is a Social Security marked van, pickup, with supplies in the back of it, the food covered and all of that. And the narration is that the food is being distributed along party lines, JLP supporters.
Yes.
Right. What's your response to that?
But what is also clear is that the video does not show anything. Matter of fact, the video doesn't even show distribution.
It doesn't show this. Is literally a parked pickup van.
In my view,
right,
for a leader of committee, firstly, to align his own constituents in that partisan way. That exposes his own thinking of his people, and I rebuke and reject that thinking. But I can say categorically that the Ministry of Labour does not, has not, will not take that approach. And what is even further inflating about this is that the said persons that the Member of Parliament has now targeted with his words with significant weight are persons who are not only serving this country but who have been themselves victims to this hurricane. Many of them have lost everything. They still get up and serve. Many of them are suffering and they're still serving. And it really brings to a central point of this country the need for some of the persons who are serving in these positions to put themselves, their egos and their agendas on the back burner. This is a time when the word unity has to mean more than just a phrase that is fit for it has to be in action. This kind of narration, extraordinary, ordinary, innocent conduct on the part of my staff is going to not just put the ministry into disrepute, but the persons who are on the ground doing this work in danger. And it damages their reputation, places the words of politicians have weight, particularly to persons who are very frustrated, very vulnerable, physically and mentally, and who will consume these words in a way that can trigger them to actually do things thinking that they're supporting their MP. And we have to be so careful in what we do, because the reality is that as a country, we have come a far way. Westmoreland is the area in the entire country that has been served with the most packages out of every parish in the country.
Yeah, I want to go to there, because I imagine there's a systematic approach as to how packages are delivered that would enable you, beyond just a flat-out denial, to say this is the system and this is why it has not been partisan.
Of course. We have
is there such a system?
Very structured approach. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security has turned the corner of our priority and focus towards assessments. We have a schedule that is shared with the members of Parliament. It is not perfect, but there are efforts to share it within a WhatsApp group that the members of Parliament are a part of, including the Westmoreland members of Parliament for the Westmoreland WhatsApp group. They are advised, they are given the numbers for the parish managers, so that if they have any issue, if they have any concern with the information, they can always call and ask a question. And the reality of the stats around Westmoreland show that Westmoreland has been the recipient of almost half of the more than 80,000 food and hygiene kits that have been distributed by the ministry and its partners. 41% to date has gone to Westmoreland. Westmoreland is the recipient of the highest consideration. It is also the area where we have placed the most assessors and done the most assessments. And Westmoreland is represented by 3 persons as members of Parliament who are from the opposition. And that is not something that has stopped this government from serving the people. Matter of fact, we have worked with the members of Parliament. Westmoreland is a space where the largest airlift drops has been carried out. I have worked with Mr. Cap to get an airdrop in Darliston, 1,000 food packages from World Food Program, who are our members. So when you hear people say it's not government, it is the government that leads the Humanitarian Assistance Committee and coordinates the disbursement of packages. If our partners have packages, we don't expend the people's money to duplicate what the partners have. We work with our partners and make sure that the packages get to the people. That's what we have done. So we work with World Food Program, we work with Food for the Poor, and we carried out a number of joint operations to drop food in Darliston, to drop food in the other areas, and to make sure that we give support for the people on the ground to be able to get the relief that they require. It is structured.
Yeah.
It is structured, it is communicated, and I must tell you, it is, right now, I have staff members that are not just terrified, but completely disheartened.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Minister, which is why I want to bring Gillian Corridus, the Acting Divisional Director, Industrial Relations and Allied Services, into the discussion. Good morning, Gillian. Hello?
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Okay, good. Right. And I have to start with the point that the Minister made laterally, because it has crossed my mind to say, I wonder how the people whose hands have been on the pump since Melissa, pushing daily, how they feel when they hear not just the politicians, because you can accept some of what politicians say, but the people, the noise on social media and elsewhere, people suggesting that the work you're doing, you have deliberately sat down and tried to make it partisan.
The response that we have is that as public officers, we have a duty to everyone. And we have ensured that there's a structure in respect of our work. So, as it relates to Westmoreland is without doubt one of the most structured parishes for distribution of relief, not just food items. And there is a weekly schedule that ensures that every single parish and also that has been affected, and every single community in Westmoreland itself has attention. So we have days that we service Eastern Westmoreland, days that we service Central Westmoreland, and days that we service Western Westmoreland. And for the officers, I just want to ensure that all Jamaicans understand that even or despite the negative comments and misunderstanding, our officers remain committed to serving everyone, and we do this selflessly. In fact, that team that was video recorded are volunteers from Kingston that work with the Ministry of Labour that were redeployed because of the need in Westmoreland. So we understand that when we are out there, persons may not be fully aware of our schedule, and we remain committed to serving all communities. And in fact, where we have reports of areas that have not been serviced or vulnerable persons requiring our assistance immediately, we do respond to those as an addition to our schedule.
You know, Gillian, just pause a minute, just to say this clearly for me, and I'm certain for other people as well. Your deployment instructions that takes you into different parts of, let's use Westmoreland as the example. Those deployment instructions are drafted and issued in Kingston or from the Parish Disaster Committee on the ground, or you have an idea from Kingston as to what you want to do. When you go on the ground, you localize it and act on it. How are the deployment instructions issued and carried out? Just to clarify that for me.
The deployment instructions are for each parish, and in the Western parishes, we have a set of distribution hubs. It's a triangular approach where we have located the inventory in 3 locations of the JBS, so that it's easier to pull from these locations or hubs to service different areas. So there is a superstructure in terms of how we service the different parishes, but at the parish level, it is detailed by community. And personally, I do know that members of parliament in Westmoreland are fully aware and have direct contact to us in the event that there is any exceptional situation that requires our response.
Hear you on that.
Just to say, George.
Yes.
I can.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, what is becoming increasingly clear to me is that there are individuals, whether for their personal satisfaction or to advance some kind of agenda, they are prepared to sabotage the work being done to restore this country.
Yeah.
I read this morning of someone literally cutting the JPS pole after the JPS went into a community and restored life.
Yes.
The actions and the commentary do not help the people of Jamaica. What it does is creates chaos, confusion, unnecessary dispute, and it is done for a reason. What I've told my staff is to stay focused, to not be discouraged by the intentional efforts to damage them in terms of their reputation and to create distortion in terms of communication, but to just remain focused on national recovery. But the reality is this: we are dealing with staff members, George, who themselves are struggling.
Yeah, I was going to come to that, yeah.
restore their own homes, their family homes, their church, their school, their children have kept, they have lives. And they have still presented themselves day after day after day. I want to use this platform, and we intend to have a conference on this, but to use this platform to make a call nationally. It must stop. Every time we...
Minister is gone? Sounds like the line dropped. Ooh. Well, that was Labour and Social Security Minister Pernell Charles Jr. making that appeal for all hands on deck and for the missing... Listen, there's been a lot of talk about junkers in recent time. The individual who cut down the poster? Yeah. Chief junker. Chief... How you do something like that? That person who did that should be flogged in the public square. I swear to you.
Should be tied to a
without
light
apology.
Pole. Should be tied to a light pole.
And flogged by the residents. Yeah? And the JPS workers. Anyway, Gillian Cordes, she acting chief technical director in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, and the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Pernell Charles Jr., were with us. The call dropped, so we have to go to Across Jamaica because we're out of time. Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales. For a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
10 minutes after 8.
Success, powered by learning. The Temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us, is
26 degrees in both capital city Kingston and in the city of Montego Bay, 21 in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's Across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica on this Thursday morning. On Wednesday, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining handed over 6 walk-behind tractors and 6 earth augers to some farming communities. The equipment is to be used to address long-standing issues of labor shortage and mechanization within the agricultural industry. Speaking at the handing over ceremony at Amity Hall Agro Park in St. Catherine, the Portfolio Minister Floyd Green said the equipment will assist in fast-tracking agricultural output and restoring economic livelihoods in key agricultural zones. He says it's part of the ministry's strategy of targeting parishes that were not hard hit by Hurricane Melissa to kickstart the industry's recovery. The equipment was provided through partnership with the Agro Invest Corporation, Delta Supply Company Limited, and Rural Agricultural Development Authority. They'll be used in St. Anne, Clarendon, Manchester, Trelawney, St. Catherine, and St. Elizabeth. The police in St. Thomas have recovered 4 stolen goats valued at close to $400,000. The animals were recovered during an intelligence-led operation in Glasgow Whitehall in the parish. During the operation, the lawmen identified a premises where the animals were supposed to have been hidden. Further investigations led to the recovery of the goats, which were positively identified by their owner. No arrests were made. The police in Westmoreland are seeking the public's help locating a mother and her 2 children from Chantilly in Savannah-Lamar. The mother is 36-year-old Judicia Isaacs. Her daughters are 6-year-old Aliyah Spence and 7-month-old Ariana Spence. The trio have been missing since the weekend. Isaacs is of dark complexion, medium build, and about 5 feet 8 inches tall. Aliyah is of a dark complexion with slim build. The Savannah-Lamar police report that Isaacs left home with her daughters about 10 a.m. last Saturday. She was reportedly wearing a pair of red jeans, a multicolored striped blouse, and a pair of cream slippers. Her daughter's mode of dress, unknown. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Judicia Isaacs and her daughters, Aliyah and Ariana Spence, are asked to contact the Savannah-Lamar Police at 876-955-2536, the Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. A 48-hour curfew is in effect in sections of Grantstown in St. Mary. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Wednesday and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Friday. The areas affected include Villa Road, Kidland, Mason Hall, and the entrance to Firefly Estate. That's it for Across Jamaica.
Outperform, outlast, with top performance, Jackhammer. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fancy leg tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. With 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-61124. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
Building Blocks is brought to you by the Contractor Center, providing solutions to everyday challenges.
It's 40 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for staying with us. Well, it's Building Blocks, and of course it's sponsored by the Contractor Center. This morning we're focusing on the Acritech 5430 concrete surface treatments. And of course, for more information, I am joined by the CEO of the Contractor Center, Andre Hutchinson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Said. How are you?
I'm good enough. How are you?
Alive and well, highly
Good.
favored and very blessed.
Well, you sound like it. Well, let me start with the technical part now. What exactly is the Acritech 5430?
All right, Acritech 5430 is a single component solvent-based concrete sealer. Its primary function is to seal and protect bare concrete surfaces. It has a great adhesion. It sticks quite well to the concrete as long as it's clean, and it creates a non-porous layer that provides high resistance to abrasion, general wear, significantly extending lifespan of most concrete surfaces.
So what is the chemical composition then of the Acritech 5430?
It's solvent-based. It's have a bit of a smell. But it is have a nice smooth finish, so it's great for indoor, outdoor, and it's fairly easy to install.
Okay, and what is the primary function of the Acritech?
So it is used basically like in garage, carports, patios, verandas, sidewalks, indoor, outdoor, storage areas. So, like for instance, if a company has a server area or some kind of area where they just want to have dust mitigation, this is the ideal product for that.
So the Acritech basically is something that you put on a floor then? It's a smooth,
absolutely, it's a flooring solution.
Okay, so it gives you a smooth surface?
Definitely.
Okay.
But it mimics the surface that you have. So if your floor is rough, putting the Acritech down is not going to make it smooth, right?
Okay.
You have to have a nice smooth surface, and it accentuates a smooth surface. But if it's rough, it's going to be rough.
Okay. And what color is it? Does it take the color of your surface, or does it have a color?
It has its own color. It comes, I think what we have in stock right now is a gray, oxide red, and green.
Okay. So you'd be using Acritech if you want to do what exactly? If you want to have a smooth surface, well, you say it takes the form of the surface that you're putting it on. So what exactly? I have a home. Why would I want to use Acritech 5430?
Well, there are a couple of very good reasons, right? So let's start with the outside. If it's on a patio, your veranda, we like to sit down on a veranda and watch people walk past.
Yes.
It's a great area to apply it. It's easy to clean once it's applied. It doesn't have anywhere for bacteria to form. It's smooth. It has a nice. It can be gloss. It can be matte depending on your desires. On the inside of the house, it's a decent alternative to tiling, right? Depending on the surface. So you can put it on your floor if you want to freshen up your tiles. You can do that as well. You just have to do a little more work with the grout line. But what it does, there's so much flexibility with it. It's really one of our best sellers, and it's used by DIYers, homeowners, commercial entities, especially in those dust mitigation locations. It's a solid product.
Okay, and you said it can be used outdoors. So what's its durability like when it concerns sunlight and weather exposure?
So let me tell you, I do situation. So we do a lot of stamped concrete as well, right? So what we use this product as like if a client wants a certain color for their stamped concrete, we use this. So what it is, it is UV stable, so it's not going to change the color. It can stand up to any weather incidents, rain and wind and that sort of thing, and it's a very durable product. So it's really good. We use it quite frequently on top of our stamped concrete.
How would it fare in like a hurricane, like a Melissa, for example?
But it's on the ground, so I mean, it's not really. Melissa's not really affected, so hurricanes not really affect that, you know. Okay. So it's on the ground. It's a flooring product, so you know.
All right, and you mentioned earlier, Mr. Hutchinson, that a lot of DIYers use this product. They do it themselves and they apply it themselves. So walk us through then the logistics of applying or installing the Acrotech 5430.
All right, great. Thank you for that. There are two ways you can install it, right? First way, which most people do, is that you pour it out into your container. You can mix. It's a very thick product, so we always advise clients to buy the dilutant so you can thin it out a little bit and make it easier to apply, and you get more bang for your buck. It's about 500 square feet out of a 1 gallon tin, and you pour it into your painter's dish, and you can just roll it out. Take your time. You have a good amount of working time with it, you know. So that's one way. Another way, which I see more professionals do, is that they roll out that first coat, but when they come back with a second coat, they use a sprayer, and so they spray it on, and then roll it to give it a nice even flow, so they get a really nice, beautiful finish.
Okay. And which method do you prefer? Which method do you suggest or recommend?
I recommend the second method because you really get a really fantastic look. Right? You roll out the first coat, you make it nice and thick, you lay it down, and then any kind of blemishes or spots that need missing, when you come with the air sprayer now, you catch all of that, and then you roll it out to have a nice, smooth, even look.
Okay, and then after you do the application of the Acrotech, how long does it last? Do you have to top it up, or after a couple of years go back and do it over again? What's the lifespan of it?
It really depends on the traffic and the usage, right? So in like our stamped concrete, where we use it like on a pier, it's been there a couple of years. On homes, out in the patios, it's probably be a lifetime solution because the traffic level isn't that high. If you're using it for dust mitigation in a commercial, like for servers and stuff, again, there's not a lot of traffic. It's gonna last a long time. If you're using it for like a warehouse where you have a lot of traffic, it's gonna wear down that because it's not that type of industrial level product, you know.
Okay, and for listeners who are seeking to buy this protective functional coating, the Acrotech 5430, where can they get it?
Well, always available at the Contractor Center, 26 Shortwood Road, Kingston 8. You can call us, 876-925-5700. And of course, you can WhatsApp us at 876-213-3982. And you can organize delivery and payment through our WhatsApp and WhatsApp only. And we're always here available to sell. And of course, on our socials, we respond as timely as we can on TikTok and Instagram. And all our videos, all our demonstrations, everything that we talk about is on our YouTube platform. And of course, there's a video posted of this very product on our YouTube channel today.
Okay. And outside of DIYers, of course, some people need the help to get it installed. Do you offer that as well?
Of course. We can assist in that. That's how our business began 13 years ago, installing epoxies and polyurethanes and acrylics for people all over the Caribbean.
Okay, nice. So repeat the numbers for us again, how they can reach you or WhatsApp you in order to get in contact with you to purchase the Acrytech 5430.
You can reach us on, so first of all, we're located 26 Charlotte Road, Kingston 8. You can call us 876-925-5700, or you can WhatsApp us 876-213-3982. And of course, we are accessible on all our socials at the handle the Contractor Center, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course YouTube. And just one other thing, Saeed, I know a lot of people are needing waterproofing solutions. Our Fast Steel is in stock. It's available in white and gray for slab roofs.
Okay, white and gray. All right. Well, thank you so much for the information, Sir Hutchinson. And of course, a lot of people will be reaching out to get the Acrytech 5430. Sounds like a very nice solution to add to give, nice finishing touches to your property. So thanks a lot.
All right, Tay, thanks so much.
Good. That's Andre Hutchinson from the Contractor Center. The Acrytech 5430 is a concrete surface treatment. It comes in various colors, and of course, the Contractor Center, they have the colors. You can go there, check it out. It's 25 minutes after 8 o'clock. We go for the break.
Building Blocks was brought to you by the Contractor Center, providing solutions to everyday challenges.
Are you living with HIV? It's time to access treatment, get back to business, and begin your path to a brighter, healthier future. The time brought to you by Jamaica AIDS Support for Life is
8:26.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside is
28 degrees in Kingston, 28 at West in Montego Bay, and 21 degrees in Mandeville.
Merry, merry moments with Mitsubishi. You're rolling with we are easy breezy. For the Christmas, you know you're rolling in style. Merry moments with Mitsubishi. Merry moments, Fire Sport Outlander, we cruising. Win cool gifts with the vehicle you're choosing. Eclipse Cross with the family you're moving. Merry, merry moments with Mitsubishi. Outlander Sport Key and the Christmas tree. Grand prize win a staycation for two. Merry, merry moments with Mitsubishi.
Conditions apply.
St. James, we're coming to you. This Friday, November 28th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the nationwide team continues our Rebuilding Jamaica Post-Melissa Relief OB series, broadcasting live from Anchovy High School and Cornwall College. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, reconnect with loved ones on air, and let Jamaica hear how St. James is standing strong, rebuilding together. We'll be on location distributing care packages with our partners, the National Health Fund and the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, providing free health screenings and assisting with filling prescriptions. And to you, our listeners, we're asking for donations of non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, hygiene products, diapers, and solar-powered lights, items that bring comfort and hope to families rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Every donation counts. Every act of kindness matters. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by our partners, NHF, OPM, Petrojam, Airport Authority, LMH Publishing, Ministry of Health and Wellness, NSWMA, Phoenix Vision, Kuna Caribbean Insurance, Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, and Region 4 of the Ministry of Education.
28 minutes after 8 o'clock. We have a little time to take some of your calls. The numbers are 876-630-937-124 and our digital line 618-6730. So 630-937-124 and 618-6730. We are taking your calls.
Morning. Oh, we never got the first one. Oh, right. Yeah, so you know that the Reggae Boy... Oh, I saw you. Didn't I see you? I've not spoken to you since the Reggae Boys game.
That was when again?
2 Tuesdays ago. Or last week Tuesday. I think it was last week Tuesday.
Yeah, he spoke to me the following day.
I did? You were here?
I think so.
No, man.
No, man. Yeah, man, the end of that week.
Yeah.
The Friday.
No, man. You and Chevron work. You and Chevron work the Friday. So the first message...
Yeah, man, but you did walk in.
I did?
Yes, with the picture you put out there, sir.
Oh, yeah. All right, hold up. Papa Nana is online. Morning, Papa Nana. Morning, Papa Nana.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pastor Nora.
You know, sir, things and time change, you know.
Wait, repeat?
You know, things and time change.
Why is it so?
Yeah, because first time your age would have to say Mr.
Alright, I'm sorry. Mr. Pastor Nora. The pastor's a title, you know.
Let me tell you something, man. You can't do nothing that is wrong for me when you come to ask me. But listen, I'm telling you something, to be honest to you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of a leopard that changes spots?
A leopard that changes spots?
Yes.
No.
All right. Well, it can. Let me tell you something, and to be honest to you. Every time you hear the news with this new opposition, well, I wouldn't even say really new, it hurts you, it makes your stomach feel away. You know, and I'm going to tell you something, and you may not believe me. I never know that it's so much illiterate people in Jamaica, you know. How can you allow somebody to be help you to destroy your own country? Right? The opposition has never seen anything that is good. If you notice it, they have never. You know what is their biggest problem, and I'm going to tell you the truth? If they was in power, every one of them would have a supermarket and a hardware. I am telling you. They would have a supermarket and a hardware, and that is their biggest problem right now. They are Eli.
Oh, gosh.
They are Eli.
Oh, gosh.
I am telling you. Yeah, tell me something. If you ever heard the people them in St. James, Stonehenge, quarreling and how the JP is suffering up there, how they're suffering, a lot of JP is suffering under the hands of the PNP with distribution. And what they want now, the government to give them the distribution, is that the PNP you want?
Mm.
We all are Jamaican, we can't just go on a plane, go England, America, Canada. Mr. Golden can go in any country go live if he want. And we are helping him to help destroy the country. God Almighty, man, we must take stock of ourselves, man.
Mm.
Anyway, we want to have a good day as usual, and you're doing a very good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, and we appreciate the fact that you're sharing your views with us. Thank you.
Want a hardware and a supermarket. Trust me, it's the biggest problem.
I hear you, sir. Thank you this morning.
Yes, sir.
All
right. Good morning, Anthony.
Hello?
Good morning, Anthony.
Hey, how are you, Said and George? How are you guys doing?
Good.
Bad.
George, I'm going to talk to you from an angle. And George, you was a former PAJ president, right? George, I am really disappointed with the level of questions at some of these press conferences from the journalists who are asking the questions at the press conferences.
Yeah.
And George, I know that we tend to try our best not to label people, especially persons who practice this craft that we do, right? But sometimes, George, people leave themselves to the public to rightfully question their motives.
Yeah.
Why do I say this? George, I was listening to the press conference yesterday, and you see, one of the things that I learned, and I know you have all learned, that when we go to press conferences or anything, we're going on an assignment. We would put a little research in first before we go to ask certain questions. And when I heard somebody who I considered supposed to be a respected journalist, a former head of the PAJ, and I heard her line of questions, George, I was really, really, really disappointed.
Why?
Disappointed. Because I don't live in Jamaica, and I know that the Prime Minister was in Westmoreland within 48 hours of the hurricane.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
I know that. And the images were on social media. If you go on the Prime Minister Facebook page or whatever, you'd have seen all of those images when he was in Westmoreland.
And the day, I think it was the first Parliament after Melissa, he did say to Dayton Campbell that, I was there, and if the helicopter could have landed in Darlington, I would have been there beside you, standing beside you. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly, George. And that is why when I was really taken aback yesterday with the line of question coming from that particular journalist, and I was like, these are the reason why people put up a political colors on some journalists. George, when I hear a person going to press conference and asking ministers if they can get some drunkers and all of those things, I mean, it makes me shame to tell people, say, boy, listen, we are in journalism, because you don't expect those line of questioning from persons who are supposed to be learned. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? And I'm really taken aback and disappointed. One other thing, George, with the press conferences, and this is to the government, I think that they need to structure this thing. George, it cannot be that people come and say, oh, all right, because we have 7 persons presented today, I have 6 questions for 6 of the persons or whatever. I think there should be a standard 2 or 3 questions to each journalist, and if there is time afterwards, then we can take more. But it cannot be that you just come and ask 5, 6 questions right off the bat or whatever, because there must be consideration to other members of the media in the room. And I think this is where now the Minister of Information and I don't know if there's a press secretary or anybody, whatever, but you must have somebody who's going to coordinate that part of the questioning after the presentations, George, to make it more structured. You understand what I'm saying, my brother?
The thing is, look, the journalists will always want to have unlimited time for questions and to be allowed to ask unlimited questions. The structure of the thing, so you're suggesting then that what should happen is perhaps everybody gets 2 and then after that, if there's time, he can come back to you again, is what you're suggesting?
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly, George. But I am telling you, George, I don't know. Some of these journalists are really setting up themselves and for the public to say they're aligned to some party or something like that, because the line of questions consistently shows goes down that line, George, and I'm hoping that people take a stock and remember that there should be integrity in this craft that we practice called journalism. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There should be integrity no matter what. If somebody if them call you a laborer or call you a PNP, at the end of the day, you must go to your bed feeling comfortable, knowing that, listen, you were only doing your job at the time, and whichever party would have been in power, your line of questioning or argument would have been the same way. Mm-hmm. Please, people, bring back integrity to our craft and stop the foolishness. That is my word this morning, George. Bless you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again.
And I enjoyed the video you made about, was it Middle Court? Was it, there was a video you made that I shared in the group, and my colleagues are very appreciative of the quality of the camera work. I said, yeah, man, that's his back.
Okay.
All right? Thank you.
All right, brother. Respect.
Cool. Yeah, man. Do we go? Oh, yeah.
Take
Let's
the
break
break
and come back.
All right.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets.
The time by Grace Good Move is
8:39.
Me grew up as my granny save her money under her mattress.
But at an all-time something. That's where I save my money in the bank. And because I want to buy a little house, I also save in a building society. We have to be smart with how we save our money.
So what if the bank crash?
Well, that's where JDIC comes in. Make I tell you something. With the JDIC Deposit Insurance Scheme, once you save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society, your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at jdic.org, and you can follow their social media platform for more information.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
St. James, we're coming to you. This Friday, November 28th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., the nationwide team continues our Rebuilding Jamaica post-Melissa Relief OB series, broadcasting live from Anchovy High School and Cornwall College. Come share your stories, talk with our hosts, reconnect with loved ones on air, and let Jamaica hear how St. James is standing strong, rebuilding it together. We'll be on location distributing care packages with our partners, the National Health Fund and the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, providing free health screenings and assisting with filling prescriptions. And to you, our listeners, we're asking for donations of non-perishable food items, cleaning supplies, hygiene products, diapers, and solar-powered lights, items that bring comfort and hope to families rebuilding after Hurricane Melissa. Every donation counts. Every act of kindness matters. Nationwide 90 FM, helping to rebuild Jamaica one community at a time. This outreach is made possible by our partners, NHF, OPM, Petrojam, Airport Authority, LMH Publishing, Ministry of Health and Wellness, NSWMA, Phoenix Vision, Kuna Caribbean Insurance, Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, and Region 4 of the Ministry of Education.
Looking at the comments in the YouTube chat this morning, a lot of people are sounding off on what happened at the press conference on Wednesday. What I will say is this, the world has changed so much, and however you do it, you have to change with it. I'm not saying that you change your principles, but you have to change how you react to things that don't align with your principles. So that's a change that you should make, because when you say the world has changed and you tell people that they have to change with it, people bristle and say, no, I'm not changing, I'm going to remain the same. So it's incumbent upon you to define what the change is that people should make, as a word of advice. So the change is not for you to change yourself, to change the principles that you hold true and the things you believe in. It is to change your reaction to the things that happen around you that you don't believe in, the principles that you don't support. Yeah, so where you'd confront somebody if they did or said something that you did not like because that's how you grew up living. No, you may have to change that because you're gonna have to be confronting a lot of people very often. Yeah, we're in an age now, Saeed, where to be hated sells. So so what you'll do, you pick a side or you pick a camp to antagonize, knowing that you can go on social media and you can curate followers, or you can create a platform for yourself where you talk. So whether you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, but not so much TikTok, what's the other one? YouTube, you create something for yourself, and so you know that you're going to have an audience of the people who hate the people you antagonize. So it's a natural audience for you. So then you have to feed the image that you're creating of yourself.
Form that community.
Yeah, form a community. You create that image, you feed that image of the person who speaks out against this side, knowing that you have a natural alliance of supporters behind you. So that's why I'm trying to explain to people why people are doing what they're doing. Some of them And some people we are seeing in a certain way. You're wondering, so why that person behave so? Why it's because of that. You know what I mean? So in this day and age, on this day in sports, in this period, people monetize the differences between people. They exploit it to monetary effect. And they are deliberately antagonizing one group because they know that there are profits in it at the end of the day. It's as simple as that.
Especially in the age of streaming and, your subscribers and you get money from that. It becomes a profession.
Yeah, man.
Hate becomes a profession.
Yeah. The best decision, I think I may have sent my last tweet in about 2014. 2014. That was 11 years ago.
A decade and a year ago.
Yeah. And even at that point, I posted my last tweet. They still call it tweet, even though it's me X. Anyway.
Yeah, man, we still call it
So even up to that point, I wasn't prolific at all. I mostly followed sports things and, and I would hardly post anyway up to that point. But the last time I posted anything was that time. And my Instagram, I was strong-armed into getting an Instagram account by the former marketing manager at Sportsmax, Tanya Lee. Bless her soul. Yeah, Tanya Lee of Leap Marketing. Morning, Tanya. She said, GD, you can't be Sportsmax lead. And you're not on Instagram. No, man, it can't. And she woman up on my case every day. Insist. Vex with me, you have to. So, all right, so we'll build it and, we'll curate it and, But I've watched people on social media and I'm saying, my God, what is this? This is not good for your mental health.
No.
People just spewing and
hatred.
And it's a shamelessness. So you post something that is a lie. You go off on a rant about something that was birthed in lies. You are found out, exposed that what you said was a lie. And you come back again tomorrow like nothing happened, you repeat, and then there are people defending you, people attacking you, and I just don't. It is not my bag. And I've said to people, listen, I know myself. And I know if I'm online arguing with someone who's spreading lies and they are digging in and I'm trying to put what I believe to be the correct information there and they are pushing back, I do not trust myself to be civil with my use of language. I not trust myself. But me know say I'm going to break the code and I don't want to break the code.
It's one of the earlier things Cliff spoke to me about when I came in this business.
Yeah.
Having to tune out the social media.
Yeah, man.
So I'll scroll on Twitter now, but a lot of the things I mute, a lot of the political hacks and all of that, I mute them. It's either me I look things to buy, or
Yeah, catch up on sports.
Or I'll catch up on the news. And people are funny as well. You get good laughter from the socials.
Some
but
people
outside
are,
of that, if you see a tweet like you done, unintellectual, I say some stupidness, even if it's not directed towards me, you're already blocked.
Yeah.
You're already blocked. That's a curious space.
I can't work so hard in my career to mash up my thing because me tell somebody say whatever.
But it's not even about mashing up your thing, George. It is the how do I put it? It is how it make you feel.
Excellent point.
It's how it make you feel.
Excellent point.
It's sometimes not even
excellent
because a lot of these people, they don't have any bearings on your life.
And that's why it's easy for me to leave them alone. That's why it's easy. I'm where I am.
As a matter of fact,
happy.
As a matter of fact, I wonder the time that they have to be saying all of this. You cannot be a constructive citizen of society. You cannot.
And Said, some big women on social media, some big women with families and children, we want to find the time for them on this top attacks. Pure nonsense.
Me not have no pitney, no wife, no nothing. I'm a barely find the time for all I need for do.
Thank you very much.
Much less you with family.
Yeah. Boy, so I can't trust myself to not use language that is unbecoming. And because I know I'm like that, I leave it alone. Leave it to Uno.
Fair.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
12 minutes to 9 o'clock.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King.
Holla me, holla yo, holla way, follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. Hata afa we say new cheesy jalapeno whopper make we talk in a gypsy. Well a pot, me I forget the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper. Whole heap of spicy jalapenos and creamy cheese sauce. Get the combo with fries and drinks for $1,350. Holla me, holla yo, holla way, follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. It's the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper from Burger King.
I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Some people go around the world for love, and they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do to do for love. You tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try.
Just the two of us. I heard you decide.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. We look for love, no time for tears. Wasted water's all that is, and it don't make no flowers grow. Good things might come to those who wait, but not for those
Hey,
who wait.
you have a lot of people on social media, you know. Them can't go to the public, you know. Because they're afraid that somebody will serve them with one last. Because there are so many people that, and this is the thing again.
No, but that's the funny thing, you know, George.
I don't understand.
A lot of them that you see on social media, them say a sort of foolishness, and when them see you in person, different face.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Different face. And them,
And
a
they
lot of them
hide.
hide behind the social media. Like this nincompoop on the YouTube chat that's saying a political party gave me scholarships to go to school. No.
What?
I went to UWI on 6 scholarships.
That you worked for?
6 scholarships that I worked for. Yeah. And funny enough, it was under the Jamaica Labour Party government.
Yes.
I got government scholarships and grants.
Yes.
And the JP was in power at the
Say
time.
it again, Said.
So, if you were to attribute it to any political party, I hope you can connect the dots for yourself.
Yeah.
Nincompoop. Anyways, I'm long in the business of not answering people on this chat, but you know sometimes you have to straighten things. But yeah, just the two of us by Bill with us. Give me another one, King. Come kind of throw off the mood and answer that. Sorry, give me another one.
He went scorched earth. He went scorched earth.
Just the two of us, building big castles we don't hide. Just the two of us, you and I. Get it together.
morning, Marigold Weber. Lady Weber, good morning. I heard you were at a certain place drinking soup and socializing last evening. May I wish you all the best, but I should have told you good morning earlier. Well, Lady Marigold, good morning to you, all right?
Good morning to Barbara. Good morning, Barbara Ellington.
Yeah, man, I heard Gina today.
Yeah, man. Bring up yourself in, Miss Barb. Hope you're all right. Yeah? Anyways, it's time for your birthdays. What birthdays do we have this morning? So, it is a VVIB. Happy birthday to Andrea Samuels. You are a 1 in a million. Have an amazing day. Those greetings coming from Lynette, Mary, and Zara. And of course, another birthday greeting going out to Auntie Esmeen in Litchfield, Manchester. A very happy 91st birthday. Happy birthday to you, Auntie Esmeen. We love and appreciate you, Auntie, and pray for your continued health. Love and blessings coming from your entire family, especially your niece Donetta and her family. And of course, there is another very important birthday. One from Derek Smith.
You can't do that, sir. You can't do that, Sir Saeed. Happy birthday to Mr. Sensational. I say Mr. Sensational because his first classic winner at Caymanas Park. He's a noted horse owner, very successful. First classic winner, Mr. Sensational, a chestnut colt by Schism, Hell's Fury out of Steve Valenti, trained by Wayne DaCosta and running in his black and green checkered colors. Yeah? Went on as an older horse to be one of the best sprinters in Jamaica, and that was the first of many. Seeking My Dream won the first, what is now the Mute Mile, was Diamond Mile, richest race in the Caribbean. Derek Smith won that, back to back with Seeking My Dream, and he has been the owner of so many great horses at Caymanas Park. Man gave me a tour of his house one day, and I said, Mr. Derek, I love race horses, but I don't have the time. Him saying, yeah, let's show you this one picture. About 63 pictures later, we gone upstairs, gone look past. Yeah, I had followed somebody there and him see me, and yeah. So happy birthday to a scholar and a gentleman, former National Security Minister, former Member of Parliament for North West St. Andrew, Derek C. Smith. Are you tuned this, sir? Coming from your wife. What do you mean by coming? One person, you know.
His wife,
Miss Carly.
Sons, doing
yeah, and the whole family.
And the family and the friends.
Play the no, you pull it up. We can start from the top. I think Derek a clean intro.
Start from the top.
Start from the top. Start from the top. Come now. Leroy Siblings and the Heptones from Derek Smith. Happy birthday this morning, sir. Smith, son of Derek and Carleen Smith. Your birthday is on Sunday. Enjoy it when you come on the tail end of Daddy's birthday. Then Monday, Desmond McKenzie. King. Well, I'm not King. I have to go find a tune where Desmond don't have. No. We're going to find a tune where Desmond don't have and play it for his birthday. That's our challenge. That's our challenge. It's possible, man. An easy thing, man. Well, I know. Here what? May I go and play his name, Earning Lane for Desmond. Go check a man down at Earning Lane for a tune for Desmond. Alright? Don't worry yourself. That'll find one. Happy birthday, Derek C. Smith, coming from the family. And Dina Smith, your son, who will celebrate his birthday on Sunday. Forward, advance happy birthday greetings to him. Saeed, run the rest now.
Happy birthday to Keisha Dakers, Wakisha Dakers. Waki, the niece of Jermaine King, happy birthday to you. Hope you have a good one. Happy birthday to Sarah Green, Shani Walters, Latoya Smith. Happy birthday to Shanika Rollins and Denise Chin. And happy birthday to Alan Beckford. Happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday to Moya Stewart, Stacey Ann Willis, and Alicia Petrina. Happy birthday to you all.
the man say, come to me, singer. What the man say, Kenners. You sheltered me from harm. Pull. I command you to pull, Mr. King. You're a very bad man. You're a very bad man, and you'll be spoken to after this program. Yeah, but there'll be a disciplinary hearing. There'll be a disciplinary hearing. Play that song again, Mr. King, to compound your problems. You sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, kept me warm. You gave my life to me, set me free. King, set me them lyrics, come like something we are finding in the SSP Manderson lyrics book. Oh yes.
Next time I'm gonna make him pay.
SSP Manderson, good morning to you, sir.
No.
Yeah, man.
Man, just have to pay for the birthday.
Yeah, man. Can I have a go in the SSP Manderson lyrics book? I'll find them through there.
When Shakespeare did that right, I copy from SSP Manderson.
Yeah, man, that is right.
Yeah, man. I him teach Shakespeare.
Take over the side. Take over.
Special thanks.
Oh, no, here's
that birthday yet?
Yeah.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King.
Holla me, holla yo, holla way, follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. Hata afa we say new cheesy jalapeno whopper make we talk in a gypsy. Well a pot, me I forget the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper. Whole heap of spicy jalapenos and creamy cheese sauce. Get the combo with fries and drinks for $1,350. Holla me, holla yo, holla way, follow me and holla for the new cheesy jalapeno whopper from BK. It's the new BK cheesy jalapeno whopper from Burger King.
You sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, kept me warm. You gave my life to me, set me free, set me free. Jesus. Say take us home, no, we're gonna kill you, no.
Special thanks to our super producer Michelle McCray Smith, to Kimon in the newsroom, of course, and to the man behind the controls, the musical master, giving you all the hits from morning till now, Jermaine King. I'm Saeed.
My name is George.
Good morning.
My own, and I would give it.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Just to have you back again.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.